Hey.
Hey. What the? Oh God! Someone gave him a soundboard.
Mm-hmm.
But now we can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
It's like the best of both worlds, actually.
Oh no! Oh no! This is gonna be fun. No, it sums up the holiday season, though.
Yeah, right.
Absolute chaos. Everything goes just right until it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's playing with a Christmas present. It's fine.
Exactly.
We still can't hear you, Royce.
Exactly.
Ah,
Hi.
Hi.
there we go.
Sorry, my hearing is actually still pretty effed.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Hey.
My hearing is definitely gone. Hey, that's okay. I had a sound.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Oh,
Christmas, everyone.
Gentlemen, Merry Christmas to one and all. What the hell was that? What was that line that cripple kid said next
Merry
story that one
Christmas.
time?
God bless us, everyone.
Everyone. That's right. That's right.
And
Poor
then
little
we
cripple
beat
kid.
him to death.
And then we beat him to. Ow, don't make me laugh.
What are we 60 seconds in? He's already breaking me. Jesus.
Oh, God, it hurts. Oh, lungs.
I'm sorry, that's the most overused line ever.
Oh,
I had to
Right.
make the joke.
oh.
And almost killed Bryce. So we're starting off great tonight.
It's a good Christmas.
We've gone from a drink with crazy to a smoke with crazy.
Yeah, there we go.
No, that's usually the after show, which
Yeah,
there probably
usually.
won't be tonight. It's too flippin' cold for the after show.
Yeah.
Not just that, but I got to be up early for all sorts of running, so I totally get that.
Our Christmas this year, it got postponed until the following week because not only did I get sick all week, kids also got sick. And I think the average temperature in the house for a day between the people was about 102.5.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was the average. That wasn't the high. So,
Right.
yeah, that one, it was rough. Tis been a rough week in my household. But before we get into all the fantastic antics that we're going to get into this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say hello to the chat. I haven't said hello to anybody for like a week.
Merry Christmas, chat.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, chat, indeed.
Yes. Hello, chat. We have a Rangmar Verillion down there. He popped in early. That's Black Knight. He is the author of the Star Shatter series. Horizon Talker. Hello. Trippy Soul is down there as well. Darkish Multiverse. Asher Brunert.
What's
How
up,
are you?
Darkish?
Kristen Colebrook is down there as well. Chris M. The Lord Otter. Raven Nevermore. Midnight Mike. How are you? Jolly Roger is down there as well. Periopsis Press. Katie, hello. How are you?
Hi, Katie.
Hello.
Kikoman, hello. What's going on, good sir? It's fantastic to see everybody. JVP Music, who will be our special guest next week. My
JVP.
ears are-
Oh, nice.
yes.
Very cool.
Oh.
Very cool.
Yeah,
My ears have not returned to normal. Damn it. Sorry.
Oh man. It's all good. It's all good.
Calvin Gulata, bot.
Like
Bot.
It's Merry
And
it's
here we go.
Christmas. No banning Calvin.
Okay. I know.
One day. One Friday a year.
Right, one Friday a year. Wrangler is down in the chat. He says hello, everybody. Hey, and ladies and gentlemen, the early birds get the worm, as it were, and so it would be that the earliest of those birds, Mr. Daniel P. Riley, will get the first introduction for the evening. Mr. Daniel P. Riley, he was here before everybody else except me.
It's just 'cause
He might
I
have been
miss
here
your
before me.
consistency.
Yes, yes, consistency.
Yeah,
is
I was
key.
sitting here in front of the laptop a good 10 minutes before you even sent the link.
Doing better than me.
That's just how I roll. Anyways, Merry Christmas, everybody. And I'm just doing fantastic. I'm actually working on a landing sort of page of the artwork that I've commissioned for Legacy of Heroes. Gonna hopefully roll that out next week, maybe Monday. The Chronicler's Christmas story actually turned out to be a little longer than I intended, so it's not quite done yet. Hoping tomorrow.
There you go.
Usually I try to aim for Richard's 5,000 word count, but I hit almost 4 and I hadn't even reached the inciting incident yet. So I was like, I'm going to have to strap in for this one.
Gonna be closer to 10.
Yeah, probably.
There you go.
Well, let's hope that it doesn't require a Christmas miracle.
Of course it's going to require a Christmas miracle. It's a Christmas story.
No, I
for sure.
mean to get it done.
Nah,
Oh.
just requires me to shut the fuck up and write it.
oh, and that's how Christmas starts, with a fuck for everybody. You
broke
get
the
one
seal
back,
today.
turns out. They'll run out of that one real quick, but you get one back for Christmas. Mr. Richard, how are you doing over there at Iron Age Media?
Doing good. Just
Yeah.
been cruising along with the holidays, trying to manage the chaos and keep everything juggled in the air properly.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, since I forgot to mention at the outset of the last week's, the voting, November prompt voting is still going on. I bumped that out until next Wednesday
Saw
for
that
the
on
closing date because not very many people had voted, and it's with the holiday chaos. I'm not surprised, so
Yeah.
I'm giving people a few extra days for this one.
Twitter out of the
Yeah.
kindness of his heart. So vote, people.
Yes, there you go. Support Iron Age creators. Give everybody a read and pick your favorites.
I'm not involved in this one. I think we've outlived my Chroniclers ones by this point.
Oh,
And I still have yet to write for this man. It'll happen. Scouts
was-
on it.
one day.
I got the link, Raven Nevermore. Okay. Give me, dude. My ears are.
There we go.
Oh, I just need to pop.
Being sick is no bueno, man.
Ah.
Indeed.
Oh well, Mr. Jake Katla. Katla. Can't read your name anymore. It's too small. Don't care. 365
It's all good.
Infantry. How are you doing? And Merry Christmas, good sir. What have you been up to?
Merry Christmas, everyone. I have been slaving away over. God, what have I not been working on? That's kind of where we start with this. No, but
Daniel.
what's happening?
Daniel is adding his camera again to the stream. Look at that.
There we go. We
Oh,
got
God,
double
they're
Daniel.
multiplying.
You tried to clear your nose and my whole screen went crazy.
That's not you can't double dip on the stream. This is gonna be pandemonium.
All right, I'll let all this happen in the background. I was expecting chaos to ensue anyway, but
Yeah, that's better.
and he's back again. But I have been working on getting the print collection together. I am officially going to make that announcement. I'm working on the full annual collection of this first year, which includes all 15 of the main stories, all 9 of the Flash stories, and a original exclusive to the publication, a spy thriller that draws on a lot of 60s spy fiction, particularly Fleming. So there's plenty of Bond in there. And it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. It's with a character I have yet to break out by the name of Roger Steele. Not very subtle about the illusions, but you know who's
It's a very Bond name if
So-
I ever heard
Mhm.
one.
It is.
I cannot. I have to stop the discussion because over on the locals side in the locals live chat,
Oh boy.
Kikomon for $200.
Whoa! Merry Christmas.
Yeah, he says I am drunk, sleep deprived.
Oh
with
God,
a
here we
puppy.
go.
His puppy is adorable, by the way. He's posted
hey.
many of the pictures of his puppy in the Gilded. He says, "But Merry Christmas. Hope your channel keeps growing,
Indeed, I've
mate."
seen
That's my Kiko gift. Thank you so much, Kikomon. Ow! I can do the Gary button. Yeah, thank you.
Yay.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's gonna get so annoying by the end of the show. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have to like hand fade that out because I made that like clip like way too the hell long, like way too. Long.
Oh well, we're making progress. It's
I know.
it's
I know.
glacial, but it is progress.
Merry Christmas, Kikomon.
Glacial, much like the clapping track.
Yes. Oh man.
All
Oh,
right.
it is. Oh man, it is good to. It's kind of good to be back in the chair again because I was not for days. That was horrible. That was horrible.
It's
like-
always the worst. It's always the worst when you're sick because my problem and it goes right back to when I was even more of a wee one that I already am. Just get that out of the
I
way.
was gonna say phrasing,
I-
good sir. Did you hear that? He
It's
called
just-
all of us old. What a invite him on the show.
I'm used to it.
Santa's going to take away some of your presents there, Jake. I don't know if your parents told you about that, but
Santa
keep
Claus
making
is
fun of your
coming to town
elders.
with a bat.
Look, I'm
You're
21
gonna get
going
coal in
on
your
80.
stocking,
It all
young
evens
man.
out in the end, anyways.
Oh, speaking of presents, I got to show you guys something after Jake's done.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, it's just that I hate the thing I hate most about being sick is when you aren't able to get up and do anything, and I'm just like, there's 50 fucking ideas I have in my head right now, and I'm too busy fucking sneezing my ass off, just
Mhm.
a fountain descending from the sinus cavity, and I'm just like,
Mine.
why can't I just sit down and get 2 lines?
Not the worst sickness that I have ever had. Still
Right.
not fun, but not the worst I've ever had. But man, it was high fever, aches and pains, and chills. And thank God I didn't get hit with like a bunch of the sinus stuff. Because that would have murdered me. That murders me every time.
No, it does. Same here.
Oh, and then just the worst. The thing I hate most about being sick, aside from the obviously like the being sick part, and you can't actually do like anything, is when you're like, no, I'm feeling better. I can go do the things, and then you get up and you do something for about an hour, and then you sit down and you're just like, where did all my energy go?
Yeah, you're like, I'm ready for bed again.
I am spent.
Yeah.
Keels
Yeah.
over.
I played some games with the guys last night, and Call of Duty. That's our locker room game. That's where we go and we just sit there and just give each other shit for multiple hours. And I told the guys, I was like, I'll jump on for a few. I was like, I probably shouldn't. I'm probably going to be way overdoing it, and I did, and I felt it. But they were like, dude, if you're gonna push yourself, don't just go to bed and get some rest. I'm like, dude, I've been in bed for 3 days. I can't be in bed anymore.
I need
like-
to do something.
I was like, this is stupid. So kick him on for $2. He is a mod right now, so he's doing mod stuff. So he says, like the video. Woo! Yes, like the video, please.
Always like the videos.
Yes, always like the stream, please. That would be absolutely fantastic if you guys would do that for us. It would be wonderful.
I was gonna say I like the mixture of conversation and present wrapping ASMR
Right?
here.
Right? It's
I'm
got
trying
like-
to do it as far away from the microphone as possible. Okay.
It's
Oh my gosh.
it's something. You're
Yeah. He's creating a new genre.
a new genre. The podcast / ASMR.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
So,
man.
Are you guys getting hit with this crazy winter storm? Anybody else getting hit with this?
Yeah, it's horrible
Yeah.
out here.
Oh my lord.
The most depressing thing about where I am right now is that we're not even getting any of the snow. We're just getting the bitter cold,
Yeah.
and the rain, and the freeze. Yeah, it's disgusting. I step outside and it's like, well, I'm just going to become a popsicle if I'm out here for more than 5 seconds. So might as well just get back in and
Yeah.
pretend
Mhm.
like nothing happens out in the real world.
It
Yeah,
was so schizophrenic too, because I was out
Oh, it was.
this morning. It was like 50 degrees and raining. I was out running last minute
You.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay. So you hadn't got quite hit by the bad
Yeah,
stuff
we hadn't
yet.
been hit by it yet. But
Yeah.
while I was out running some errands in the morning, it like started to rain really hard. I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. And then it all of a sudden just turns to straight ice. So my car is just getting pelted by little tiny icicles. And I'm going,
Yep.
should I pull over and wait this out? Because this is getting a little weird.
I threw all my
That's
heavy
whenever
work-
you go faster so you can get home.
Yeah, exactly.
I threw all my heavy work
Exactly.
gear on this morning because I had to get the snowblower out and get at least the sidewalk snow blowed off because some idiot would be out there walking and slip and fall and be like, I'm gonna sue you. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be outside. Dude, it was when I went out and snow blowed this morning, it was -8 degrees out with a -35-degree wind chill.
Whew.
Yeah, it was. I will say this though, my my work gear didn't even feel the wind. The only place I felt the wind was right
Good.
here on my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Right
that's the
on.
only thing. Yeah, but yeah, no.
As
it
the
was,
good Lord intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was really brutal. And then I got back inside and sat there and I was outside for like 30 minutes. What the hell? Still getting better. And Mr. Blacklist Universe, also known as Mark, also known as Mike S. Miller, says he's outside barbecuing right now. Screw you.
Merry
Screw you,
Christmas,
Mark.
Mike.
Also, Merry Christmas, Mike. Yes,
Merry
Mike gets a Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
you're an officer
Mark
and a
gets a scream. Oh, dude, if I could be outside and barbecuing, I would. And honestly, if it weren't this
Honestly.
flipping cold, I would. I've barbecued in like 15-degree weather before. Like
I mean,
You
you got
guys
the heat
wanna-
from the grill. What more could you ask for?
I need.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
You
Yeah.
guys want to see my craziest present bought for this Christmas?
All right.
Sure.
All right.
Check this out.
Do it.
Oh.
Oh,
Very
Very
cool.
nice.
Very cool.
For my daughter.
there you go.
1980, what is it, 1989 or 1984 Batman movie?
Oh, I think it's
Reproduction of the
89.
Joker. Yeah, reproduction of the Joker goon jacket.
Oh,
That's cool. That's
Very
cool. Oh.
Every time we watch that movie, she's like, I love those coats.
Right.
Saying.
Well, one
There you
benefit
go.
of her not watching the stream, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And there's only a couple of people that are possibly in the chat or watching the stream who actually know her, and y'all better not tell her. I'm gonna strangle you with some Christmas lights.
I'm gonna do some recon, and then she's gonna wake up to like Facebook or whatever social media she's on and be like, hey, you should watch the stream. Your dad totally showed up. It'll be me.
Just give
It'll
him
be
the timestamp and everything.
right? Skunks Workshop says that's awesome, Daniel. Oh yeah.
Indeed.
No, I am. Man, it has been. We're nearing the end of the year, and obviously, it's not because we're not doing like a crazy like a New Year's Eve show. We actually have a guest next week, and so might do this a little early. Man, it's been a crazy year. I think I know I definitely speak for myself, and possibly I speak for Richard when I say it's been an absolutely insane year, at least for what we're doing.
Yeah. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
So
you guys met me. I cause all the chaos.
it's true. It's great. It's great. Kikomon gifted a drink with crazy membership. Thank you so much, Kikomon.
Thank you, Kikomon.
Oh man. A new name down in the chat, Fearless Leader. Yeah. I can't stand outside with 3 layers of clothes for more than 30 seconds. That's because you don't have the right kind of clothes, good sir. Trust me. You get the right kind of clothes, you can stand up to that stuff. It's still not fun because you can't move around very well, but you'd be all right.
Or just become used to 5 feet of snow like us, northerners are.
See.
I'm not even used to it getting below freezing down here in Houston, I tell you.
Yeah,
I was about to say, how is the weather down there, Richard?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still it was in the teens last night, but now it's like
Kikomon, you gave Mark
20s.
a freaking membership to
That's
the
a
channel.
surprise. Wait,
Dang it.
Kikomon gifted Mike a membership to the channel?
Yes.
as it should be.
Well played, Kikomon. Well played.
Kikomon, I thought we were friends. What the hell is that from? It's gonna bother me.
Also, Katie, thank you. Tell her I said thank you. There.
Oh, wait.
She's welcome to it.
Wait, what?
One of these days, if she swings by Houston and wants a bookcase, she can pick it up.
Yes.
This was in
Take
storage.
the whole thing, everything on it.
No, not everything on it. No, no.
There you go. Not everything
One
on
way
it.
to offload
Just the
clutter.
climbing hazard that is can't be left out around the children. Now.
Oh God. Oh
Right.
God. Oh, that's funny. Oh, so what else is going on, guys? So how crazy has your guys' year been? What have you guys Richard, you sent this really fantastic list of things that we could totally cover and talk about.
just-
but I
yeah, just
absolutely
a
forget.
couple
Yeah,
little
just,
things.
just a general.
I
and
know
it's
you're
all
going to try and argue. Well,
Uh-huh.
I think the opening thing that you wanted to start with was
The
why
opening
Legend
salvo.
of Korra is actually a Christmas
No,
movie.
we're not going there.
But
We're not going there. You bastard. You that bastard.
Jesus Christ! Don't start with the,
Sorry,
don't
man.
start with the heavy
Did
you
see-
shit.
Did you
Goddamn.
see that, Jake? Did you see that whole exchange?
Full shot from Richard.
I watched that because I watched the entire ordeal.
That was. Did you just like? What is he doing? What the hell? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend. JDA.
How you doing, Royce?
Not bad, good sir. How have you been?
All right. Just
Good.
got myself a glass of wine,
There you go.
ready to have some fun.
There you go. Well, thank
Hey,
you so
living it
much.
up.
I
Welcome
have
to
been
the
meaning
Christmas present wrapping Babel live stream show.
I know I have to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that later. That
to.
sucks.
I'm
I'm doing it now while I drink scotch.
That's smart.
Then what?
Honestly,
Well, I'm doing it now while I drink scotch. Boy, that we know how those presents are going to be wrapped. They're going to know what it is. They're not going to need to unwrap it. Why did you take paper to the box?
that's what gift bags are for. You drink enough, you
Finger
just
holes in
try
it,
and
you
get the
just
gift
look
in the
through.
bag.
You just put it, and then if it don't fit, the bag rips, and then you tape the bag.
Yep, exactly.
Yep,
and
that
all of
is
a sudden
exactly how
the
it's
drop or
going.
two gets on there and be like, "Hey, why does this smell like J and B?" Like what?
Oh no, good times, good times. Oh man, no. So, John, why
What's
don't you say hello to everybody? Introduce yourself to everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody in my chat knows who you are, but you might as well introduce yourself for those who
Hi,
don't.
chat.
Who doesn't know?
What's going on?
Mm.
I'm just a guy who makes fun of stupid things on the internet, and that's it.
You also happen to have coined that dumbass name that people won't drop for me. It's still alive, and it evolves every week.
Oh, you love it. Don't lie.
He does.
No, I just stopped telling chat not to do it because I figure one of these days they'll stop doing it if I tell them it's fine.
You gotta just drop it.
Never try to reverse psychology the chat because they don't give a damn. The chat doesn't care. They don't care.
Get used to
So,
it, Royce. The chat is
yeah.
smarter than you.
No, I have been wanting to jump on your show for like the last few weeks, but you go like I know your time zone is different than mine. And it's so hard to jump on because you start your show like an hour or two before I'm off of work. And then by the time I get home, you're like leaving your show. And I'm like, well, it just doesn't work anymore.
Well, yeah, I try to do it like around that time, like where my kids are kind of in school and then they get off school, and I try to get that
Mhm.
done. You know, I don't know.
Gotcha.
That's
No,
my
I
main
get
deal.
it.
It's all
I
about
get
the
it.
children.
It's all about the children. Won't you think of the children?
That's right.
Oh boy. So my God, that is a terrible sound. That is.
No, that's how ASMR is. If you just
Oh,
listen to
oh.
it long enough, you
Oh,
It's
after a while it stops being irritating, and then you just love it. That's what I've understood from certain
You
people
will
who
hear
really
it
love
and
ASMR.
you will love it.
I had to like figure out.
It's
Is
not
it
at
not
all like
filling
Chinese
you
water
with Christmas
torture.
cheer?
Yeah,
Yeah, the one of the first times
The
who was I
torture will
watching? I think
continue
I was
until your
watching
cheer
like
elevates.
Exactly.
I think I was watching an It's a Gundam video, and he was covering one of them Twitch thoughts or something like that that was doing like ASMR. I didn't know what it was. I had heard it like tangentially, you know, and I kind of had a vague idea of it. But then this chick gets up there and she starts doing mouth noises, dude. And I hate mouth noises. Like
Mouth
they
noises are disgusting.
dude.
Yeah.
It sounds like dude, it's gnarly. Mouth noises aren't even fun to listen to in porn. It's just not a good thing. Anyway, I digress. But I
Jeez.
heard that, and I'm like driving down the
Family-friendly.
road, and I'm like, I'm trying to find my phone to turn the video off because it's playing through the Bluetooth, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I couldn't watch that video. It is the grossest thing, and these women make money on it. I have to
Yeah.
figure out how to do this.
Well, first of
Well,
all,
you have to be a chick.
never mind.
Yeah.
Well,
That's kind of how it works.
Yeah,
That's for
well,
starters.
here's the thing: the surgeries exist.
Oh, geez.
I love how John's soul died a little. Ow, damn it! I'm alive. I didn't die yet.
Jokes so good they hurt.
Oh,
Mike Miller's saying you need to lick your microphone, Royce.
I am
Go
not
for it.
gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No. Mm-mm.
My horror story with mouth noises was when I was mixing the audio with my two drums.
I'm
Sorry, hold on.
I'm sorry.
I didn't. I
I
stopped
know.
listening after I heard horror story with mouth noises.
Hold on. Wait.
No,
Let's rewind.
27 minutes in, folks. 27 minutes in.
20.
It's a very
No,
merry Iron Age Nights.
It sure is.
But
All right. What's
Specifically,
going
it's just-
on with mouth noises?
it's saliva clicks. It's actually like a production thing. So when you're
Oh,
recording
yeah.
and you can hear like things popping off of your gums,
Oh.
and there's ways to alleviate it. But when I was doing like some of the first takes of narration, every time I listened to it, I was like, my soul just kind of
That's
died
all
a
you could
little
hear.
more. That's all I could hear, and I was EQing the piss out of it, and I'm just like, nothing's working. It's basically
I'll hear
the
it in my
story of my
sleep.
night. Oh,
Oh.
Actually, my
That I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. There's no way. There's no way I could Nope.
my
just- it's
daughter
not-
listens to it to sleep. First time I ever heard it walking by her bedroom freaked me the hell out. I was like, what? I opened
What
like
are you listening
actually
to?
I actually just opened the door because I had two thoughts. One, she was like eating something in the middle of the night, like she'd snuck out and got something to eat, or two, she snuck somebody in and they were making out. And all I heard was mouth noises. So I just threw the door open and she's dead ass asleep and it's coming from her phone. And me, like a dumb boomer, I went, hello?
Okay, that's great.
Because I thought she
Wow.
fell asleep with somebody on the phone. And they were making noises or just passing. I don't know what I was thinking. It was so weird. So the next
Okay,
morning I
that's
said,
great.
what the hell was on your phone last night? And she goes, it's ASMR, Dad. And I'm like, what the it's ASMR?
What is that? God.
My wife likes ASMR. She watched or she would listen to it before it like got trendy or whatever. And yeah, I know it's my wife. She's come to get me anyway. But I'm making
Oh,
fun
no.
of
What are
ASMR.
you talking
Oh,
about?
no, you're done.
Yeah, you're in trouble now.
No,
You're not allowed on this show anymore.
I know. I'm in trouble. No, I'm just gonna have to listen to ASMR or something awful.
Oh God.
No, but so she listens to like the people like brushing hair and like doing stuff like that, and I'm just like, yeah, this just doesn't. I don't know.
I don't know, like people like
I don't know why this
listening
is
to, like,
relaxing.
ocean sounds and stuff. Like what did like that at least seems like better.
That sounds way more wholesome.
Yeah.
I agree. Kikomon, just so everybody knows, the chat has decided on how I should read super chats. I put up a poll. The poll said, if the super chats are relevant to the conversation, much like this one, I will read them during the conversation. If the super chats are just for funsies, they will get read at the end of the show. But Kikomon for $5 says, I will pay for ASMR, talking about how good Kikomon soy sauce. Hello.
It's just 3 minutes of someone saying, show
So,
me.
so what I'll do, Kikomon, is I'll get a mic and I'll stick it right next to like the little soy sauce bowl, and then I'll mix in wasabi with chopsticks, and you'll hear the chopsticks kind of clanking against the bowl. That'll be your ASMR.
That's some blasphemy right there.
You like that? You got to mix in the wasabi.
I like wasabi. Wasabi is really good.
Yeah.
I haven't had a good wasabi. I mean, it's real wasabi is. I mean, it's like raw horseradish almost.
Yes,
It's freaking
great.
incredible. Oh,
I used to make my own. Richard, knock it off.
Oh no! Here we go.
As soon as he leaned toward the camera, I was like,
I
"No."
was like, boy, he must be reaching for. Oh no!
And so it begins.
no. And so it begins.
It's
What?
even weirder because sometimes they whisper
That's
in
the
between what they're
creepiest
doing,
stuff.
and that'll fuck you up in the
Please
middle
don't.
of the
Just
night.
that's.
Yeah.
This is getting really gay really fast.
It is. It is. There's like
I-
some dudes who do it. And I'm like, no.
John's about to nope out on us. He's like, "Yeah, very gay."
Well, I'm
irony.
trying to see if my my friend Robin wants to come on the stream, like add a little estrogen to make this less gay. But
We have,
so far, she might be shy.
there. Well, I have the invite out to a bunch of peoples, and people are allowed to. Calvin Gulata, my.
I already put it out on Twitter.
Oh God! Did you put my stream out on Twitter? Don't put. my
We'll
stream out on
just, be our naturally charming selves.
Twitter.
It'll be fine.
Wow.
I think I've got a bright future in ASMR is what I'm getting from chat.
That's quite disturbing. Oh God. That I should never have brought up the dumb things that I have heard on the internet. Never bring up the dumb things you've heard on the internet, especially with this group.
That's my entire live stream. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it works. That's what we do.
It is true. It is true. Wait, what?
That and promote awesome creators.
Exactly.
JVP Music says that YouTube stole my first super chat. That's
Beat it until he
strange.
gives it back.
Right.
Roy?
Hey, Susan. Never mind. Probably shouldn't make that joke. Anyway, I hope you all have a great Christmas. We'll need a refresher for when we start the Iron Age takeover in 2023. Yes.
I'll
It's
say
gonna
the
be a
only
good
ASMR
year.
Merry
you'd be
Christmas,
hearing is the
JVP.
cracking of knuckles. Jesus.
Yeah, 2023. I have very high hopes for. I think we had
do
a
too,
pretty good
honestly.
year this year, but I think we're just getting started with this whole movement, and I think 2023 is going to be a huge breakout year. It's going to be pretty amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I'm
want.
getting set up for it.
Okay, I gotta ask this question, and I'll give you the side that I lean on, but with the whole Iron Age movement, I feel that I've come to the conclusion of, based off of just talking to a ton of people, is there are people out there that have been doing this for years, trying to write the good
For
stories. They're
years.
recognized. Anyway, and they've been trying to write the good stories. They've been trying to get good, wholesome media out there, moral media out there, and some people just good old fashioned, just fun stories with a little bit less morality, Mr. Rob Rhymes. But they've been doing it for years and trying to find a way to get people to be like, hey, like the good stories are over here. And it was just when that term Iron Age hit, people were like, look, the Iron Age thing isn't new. It's just got a name now. Where are you guys at with that?
Yep.
Yeah. You got.
Yeah, I've been around these circles for years. There's been a few hashtags, I guess, with this. That the first one that I really saw that exemplified it was they called it hashtag Pulp Rev. It was the Pulp Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And what the guys kind of like got into, what the lads got into, they looked at it and they're like, the pulps from the 30s, 40s, and 50s are really like what's awesome. So let's kind of emulate that. And if you look at them, they're all manly. They're all Christian, at least Christian basic values, right?
Yeah.
And they're all just like really cool. Like the writers did not care whatsoever about like realism or representation or any of that crap. It was all just like, what's the most fun, wacky thing we could possibly do? And that's what made fiction great during that period. And so there was a purposeful sort of attempt to try to get back to that. And there's a book that came out. It's called Appendix N by Jeffro Johnson. And he actually did a deep study of a lot of these pulps that actually influenced Dungeons and Dragons. And so a lot of the guys coalesced around that. But Pulp Rev, like to normies, it's a little difficult to wrap your head around because like they're like, what are you talking about? Whereas like people understand Golden Age, Iron Age, like it's a little catchier of a deal. So I think that that having something catchy, having something that resonates a little easier in pop culture like that. I mean, heck, I might even go on, when I go out to the Tim Pool group, I might even go drop the Iron Age sort of moniker and talk about it there a little bit. And that's just going to perpetuate it in the culture, right? And I think that's a little easier of a brand to get behind. So that's why I'm kind of excited for sure.
Well, I also think that there hasn't been because there really hasn't. I mean, I guess Razorfist coined the term or reinvigorated the term, but there isn't really anybody claiming ownership of it, and at least
I already
there's nobody
copyrighted
who's.
Well,
there's
Totally
nobody
kidding.
who's
Totally kidding.
who's
Check
trying
with the trademark
to
office. It's true.
exactly who's trying to kind of like create any sort of like in versus out group. It's a much more broad categorization. And so it keeps I would say some of the things that have derailed past movements a little bit farther away. And I mean, I actually think it's good to have you want to have exclusivity within certain groups and things like that, but it's very hard to take a single cultural piece, like a single group, whether it be pulp or comics or even like a very small movie studio or something like that. It's very hard to take these things and each individual one make big waves. You know what I mean? Move the culture as a whole. Each one of them individually can take a step, and I'm fine with those people, gatekeeping their own creators and everything else, doing whatever they want within there. But it's very difficult to get all the way across a major cultural movement and get, like you said, kind of like the normies interested in something outside of those specialists. So I'm hoping that's where it's headed. I'm reading this.
I think it is a little bit. And, I mean, a good thing though, is that a lot of the normie YouTube channels that are big read bounding into comics articles, right?
Yep.
And so I'm in there writing articles every week. And if you notice, I drop names and projects and things like that into my articles.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that intentionally just so it's okay, so we're talking about Disney Marvel, but this creator said this about it. And so therefore I can put the link to their project embedded into the article. And so I'm subtly building cultural icons by doing that. And that's kind of what I'm doing. And John Trent, the editor, is fully on board with me doing that. And so
I mean, dude,
that's what's nice
an
about
entire
this.
article on my freaking video about
Yes.
Wolverine getting too old. Hugh Jackman, he's
That's
just being too old for the role, and the idea wasn't necessarily that. Well, he's old and he's old, and he should go away because he's old. The idea is, it's freaking Wolverine, and how much more can the guy give to it being, what, nearly in his 60s?
Right.
But
Right.
no, that was absolutely that
ageist bastard.
ageist. Yeah,
And
I'm all right with
Merry
it. It's
Christmas
fine.
to you, Christopher.
Yeah,
Merry
and ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Moonlight from Christopher.
I am high on enchiladas and cupcakes.
Hey.
Screw you. Wait,
What a
what
way
kind
to
of
live.
enchiladas?
Chicken enchiladas,
Hey, very good.
homemade, following it up with some rosé.
Ah, good sir.
It's a good night.
Thank you for
all.
having me on. I'm always glad to be here,
Enchiladas usually go good with a Modelo.
even if you are an ageist bastard.
Fair. I don't apologize. I'll hate myself when I'm that old too. Fuck. Damn it.
Jake,
If
by
we're
the way,
still
I'm
doing- If
strangely
we're still
aroused
doing
by
the
your
show in
wallpaper.
10 years, Royce and I are going to have a fight.
Mhm.
Are you guys going to go
Do you
full
like
on
the pattern?
Ralphamania, where you guys have literal fights that you stream, and
Yep.
it's pretty good.
I mean, it
I'll
depends on how
I'll
well
have
it
a
pays.
walker. He'll have a cane. We'll just
Good times. Good times.
record it out front of his house. Yeah.
I'll still be lifting weights.
Be
Be that grandpa that's challenging his kids to push-up contests.
So, going to something interesting that John said there, expanding the culture by doing these subtle things to, to get names out there to people. And he does it by writing articles and abounding it into comics and saying, hey, like Marvel and DC are doing this stuff, but did you know that these guys are doing this stuff? And guys, I do see the super chats and I do see all the chats down there, and I will do my best to get to as many of them as I can. This is just a really good discussion right now. But how do you guys feel that getting things out there, or getting these younger projects, these newer creators out there, what's the best way to spread the word? Obviously, I do my YouTube channel, so on and so forth. Over at ironage.media, but like, how do we get that into the culture? How do we make this Iron Age movement not just the Iron Age movement, but just the culture? It's just it's this new movie we're going to, hey, have you seen 365 Infantry's, new animated film that he just put out or whatever? Like, I mean, if it ever got to that point, hey, did you see the new live action based off of, Flying Sparks? My God, that was a great episode last week. How do we get to that? How do we get there?
It takes a lot of years. So, I mean, if you look at what's being made into projects now, it's like Garth Ennis and Mark Millar and, Invincible, Robert Kirkman. Those are all things that were popular in comics in like 2000 to 2005, right? If you think about it. So we're talking 15 years later. So it is definitely an attrition game, and it's definitely a networking game. And so you just got to keep going, keep building. I'm getting in with the Tim Pool people. Like they have a whole pop culture show called Pop Culture Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've been keeping tabs on that.
I'm very tight with the guy, Brett, who runs that show now. And so like that's a new contact. And now I'm going out there. I'm going to be on that. They're bringing in John Trent now because I told them to. So it's like, those sorts of things will just start to compound. And so we get that, maybe one of us gets an in with the Daily Wire or something. We start doing the same thing over there. And then one of us gets an in with, Fox News. And, it's like those sorts of things. Like, if we all pool this together, it's going to build. And then, maybe 10, 15 years from now, when the Daily Wire is really cranking and making its movie content, they lean on our projects. That's what it is. But it's a long game thing. You can't rush it.
Right.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Some of it also I want to add too is that, and we were having this discussion in there's still a group chat for Pulp Rev over on Twitter, and we were having this discussion a couple of days ago about how a lot of it also is taking your projects out of the online spheres and into the real world, and not just like in terms of doing like convention spots and stuff, but even something as simple as like a craft fair or something local, something where you can talk with a local small business and be like, hey, would you be interested in maybe having some books here? Like, maybe not worry about chain stores so much, but worry about the local mom and pop types and be like, hey, would you be interested in stocking this? Or hey, could I consign these? And getting them out of the socio-political framework, I guess would be the way I'd phrase it, and getting it into just kind of the normal world.
He has a really good point, and I know for a lot of people think that stuff like that just doesn't exist anymore. I actually live in a town where it does. So every summer, my wife and I
lots of towns still have them.
Well, my wife and I we get a garden going, and my wife does. She dehydrates a bunch of stuff, makes homemade like seasonings, and does little seasoning packets, and then she'll do homemade barbecue sauces and hot sauces and all that stuff. And she just makes just an overabundance of it. And there are a couple of stores in our local town. They're like, yeah, there's shelf space over there. Just go. That's where we let people who are doing local stuff. And guess what? You walk in and it's not just like my wife's the only person doing it. There are people that make candles and they put their local stuff over there, and you go, and the shop owner will take like 5% or whatever, a nickel out of every dollar or whatever I don't know what and actually one of the guys in town doesn't even take anything. He's just like, no, hey, no, thank you for, and it's right up at the front. But stuff like that does exist. So for getting something in the physical world is huge, and getting it, finding that store, where people can walk by and go, oh, hey, what's this? You know, and
Right.
pick it up and take it with them and walk down the street with it. I think that's is that still a viable tactic for comic books? And I mean, I guess if you guys are doing like short films and animated films to try to get like a DVD format out and put that out there, like, is that a thing? I mean, it's you could put a DVD together on it. I mean, I have a program that I can, as long as I've got the footage, I can make a DVD right now on my computer.
I have a friend who makes most of her living like setting up at Ren fairs and Comic Cons and things like that, and she sells her books there. And she's got a good Instagram, but she doesn't stream. She's not really part of this. She writes Christian fantasy, so it's wholesome stuff. But she definitely does do it that way. I mean, the thing about this business is like I can say like, hey, you got to be a shock jock and have a funny YouTube stream, and that's how I make money. But that might not work for you. That might not be your personality, right? So it's like you might not be able to do that, and you might not be able to set up at a convention and like hard sell to people and be good at that either. It just depends. You got to find what works for you, and there's going to be a lot of different avenues for marketing. It's not a cookie cutter, one size all fits all.
And I mean, my tactic that I want to take to it, because I'm working on firing up a lot, because I've talked about with Richard in the background. I've got my radio show I want to get back up and running, which is just playing music, shooting the shit. And I've got a YouTube channel I want to get back up and running. And I want to do what I've kind of described as like a digest format, where I'm curating not just work of the past, saying, hey, here's a movie that might have slipped through the cracks. Here's a really cool record you can find here, there, everywhere. But also I want to do spots on modern work. So that way, when you're saying, hey, here's our classic of the week, and if you liked this, dovetail into the independents. And so long as, I mean, this is kind of like me setting my own bar, but so long as I keep the program interesting, people engaged, they'll stick around to see what those independents are up to. And hopefully, if you keep working on it, building that audience, which is why I want to do it as a weekly format to start out as, because there is going to be more editing work going into it than your usual sit down, talk about a topic kind of video.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Dick.
There's also, there's the phrase, you have to work smarter, not harder. You can definitely, I mean, the name of the game ultimately is presence, whether you're showing up at, local stuff or doing a live stream, or I don't actually recommend the knitting circle 5 DNA tests later. Thank God I'm not the father of any of them, but it got hairy for a while. The thing is what was it? There was a comment I saw before. It said, it's the long game. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's just the key, is keep showing up, keep being in enough places, whether it be, you get an article in Bounding Into Comics or Tim Pool or something like that. There's no, in advertising, there's really no, I got a spot in this, and now everyone knows who I am and they want my product. It's, I saw the spot here, then I saw you over here. I mean, it used to be during the comic book days. What's that?
Scattershot.
Yeah. Well, I used to show up at different conventions all the time, even if I didn't have anything to push. I dressed a certain way. Everyone recognized me after a while. After a while, people thought I was somebody, even though I wasn't. I started getting little odd jobs in comic books just because they thought, like, it's kind of one of those things like, oh, you hired him because you thought I hired him first? I thought you hired him first, that sort of thing. But ultimately, I think the real thing is this. There is a great video out there. Cheers to everyone, by the way.
I'm reading the chat. I was asked what I was drinking. I was trying not to devolve the. I ruined the conversation.
Well, okay. So there's a great video out there. It's an old TED Talk before TED Talks got weird, called "People Don't Buy What You Do; They Buy Why You Do It." And one of the things that's really enlightening in that video, aside from that statement, is essentially there's kind of this. He showed this kind of graph. It's one of those. What do you call? It's the hill shape thing.
Bell curve.
Yeah, it's not quite a bell curve. Maybe it was a bell curve. I don't know. Who cares?
Either way,
at the beginning of it,
It's a
it's-
graph of some sort.
yeah, at first, at the beginning of the graph, when a new technology comes out, and bear with me,
I
I'm
know the one
going
you're talking
somewhere
about.
with
I
this.
know the one you're talking about. It's not the bell curve. It's yep, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. So at the
Yeah,
beginning of it,
yeah.
you have your early adopters. So, say there's a new iPhone or something like that. They're the people that will get in line before a product comes out, and they don't care what it is or how expensive it is. They want it because they want to be first.
Mhm.
Then you have your, as it kind of goes up, you get more and more people start to get into it until it becomes, at the top of the curve, it's like everyone's got it now. And then like at the bottom of the curve are the people that essentially they only get it because they don't have any choice at this point. If they want to exist in society, they get it. Now,
Yeah.
so I think the key is really, and this is what Mark Millar did, and I actually got to hang out with Mark Millar at Comic-Con when he was writing Superman Adventures and nobody knew who he was.
So cool.
Read
I
like
like
his
him.
Oh yeah, he's great. Him and Grant Morrison were hanging out together, and Grant Morrison was just doing the new JLA launch where he got the core team back together. And again, we've been at the convention so much, my friends and I, that we just kind of got to hang out with people. But essentially, those, especially Mark Millar, he was an early adopter in getting the whole comic books into movies thing, using comic books to get the deals and that sort of thing. He was really ahead of the curve. And because of that, he set his place at the table really early, where now we've got the kind of what Marvel and DC are at the moment, which is they all just demanded a place at the table, but there's no real value to it anymore. So now what I'm doing with my next animated movie that we have in production, and thank you again for letting me plug that here. But essentially, here's what I'm doing is I'm looking at all the latest technology that, and I hate to use this term, but the kids are using, and seeing how I can integrate it into what I do. So there's a relatable point for it for them, because what the kids are doing, a lot of the other people are just going like, what? Yeah, I don't get what that is. But it's like the kids are the early adopters. Eventually,
Oh, I'm on the screen.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hi. I was trying not to interrupt anything.
I didn't know you brought me on yet. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
Yes,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So anyway, I think
You
that
know,
if you want to get in, if you want to get your stuff in and you want to make it relevant, it comes down to another term, which was I forget the name of the guy. I always forget the name of the guy that said it, but the medium is the message.
Mhm.
We're being exposed to new mediums all the time right now. And I think the core of it is, figure out how you can be an early adopter and get what you do in with that so you can set your place at the table. So, there's my spiel.
And there are mediums out there that are being hybridized too right now. And that's really interesting to see how some of these mediums, and I'll just go back to one that was kind of hybridized a long time ago, but I mean, think about like audio or digital books. You went and bought a tablet. So you essentially took a computer, and instead of sitting there and scrolling, you hybridized the experience of holding a book in your hand with the tablet and then flipping the pages but with the swipe and still being able to read the book. And that's obviously an older one. And then you start getting into, some of what like JVP Music, who's going to be on next week. He's doing this audio comic called Ruthless. That's really awesome. It's an audio visual comic that is metal music, and it's again not necessarily new stuff, but we're seeing this renaissance of people looking at what's existed and deciding, okay, it's time to go. And it seems like imagination and creativity and ingenuity is definitely coming out of the woodworks right now. Hi,
Well,
Rob. I see your hand.
The man's back from his Arby's binge and his writing too.
Merry Christmas, Rob.
Merry Christmas, Rob. How we
Merry
doing?
Christmas, Rob.
Speaking of metal, that whole sepia tone, or not sepia, was it green tone, blue tone? You look metal.
Rob's filter. Yeah, very metal.
Rob, are you there? Hello? Rob,
He doesn't. I don't
Uh-oh.
think.
Rob, do you have audio?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
There he is.
There
Snap
you
to
go.
sleep.
It's just like,
Fucking headphones weren't turning on, so I had the
Oh,
volume
there
way
we
down
go.
so it wasn't like wrecking the show.
oh,
Because I'm
no,
not a
you
fucking
totally
That
wrecked the
was-
show. It's fine. We wrecked
I
the
say
show
you
about
should've just gone
35
with it.
seconds in today. So,
Ugh.
oh, it's
So
fantastic.
One of the things that I'm doing at the moment is with the animation that I'm doing for Escape from Planet Omega 12, I'm incorporating real-time live stream motion capture technology that a lot of kids are using. They're called VTubers. I'm sure you guys have
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
this
yeah.
before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So-
no, there's quite a few that I've seen that actually do it quite well too.
Yeah, the real-time capture, and now most of it they're using like, you know, cutesy anime emoji type characters, but I started to play with it and realized that it's very flexible and it can be used in ways that I'm not seeing anybody using, but I'm still incorporating it in because it's something that young people understand. I'm also using Blender, and there's all sorts of now I know this is a dirty word for a lot of people, but it's goes way beyond what people are kind of focusing on. But there's a lot of AI I can use for motion, real-time motion capture, and
You said
and
the word.
the word
Dun, dun, dun.
and even upscaling and what do you call it, audio cleanup. AI is doing a lot of cool stuff there, and I just got an app for my phone where I can literally take my sculptures. I don't have any on hand, but I can take the sculptures that I do in Sculpey and I can just walk around them with my phone, and it'll create a full 3D object for me that I can import into Blender. So there's all this technology that these kids are using that to us, it's kind of like feels like we're catching up, or at least at my age. I don't know how old all of you are, but you know, for them, it's just part and parcel to their daily things that they do. So to see that incorporated in, I think is going to go a long way, and mix and match. Like, you know, he was saying it's there's a lot of ways that you can push the technology in ways that people didn't think of, and also blend them together to create stuff. I mean, as a practical effects enthusiast, the idea that I can use technology to kind of bring new interest to my sculptures and my puppets and my miniature sets is really exciting, because before, without that, it was, you know, I felt like I was getting left behind and a lot of people didn't care, and they didn't, but maybe now they will. So
I was just about to ask how that was going to affect your particular style.
I think it's going to do two things. It's going to allow me to enhance it, and it's also going to force me to think about it in new and innovative ways. I'm
Very
personally all these new technologies. First of all, I know they're going to be big, and I know they're going to be the new thing, and it's inescapable just based on how many people get angry about it. Just in the same way as people got angry about, I mean, people got angry about the invention of the bicycle because they were afraid it was going to give women new mobility, and it was obscene the way they sat on the seats. But at the same time, I think about my dad's stories about, yeah, it's true. Absolutely true. My dad's story about when the Rolling Stones came on the television, and his dad got up and was like, what? British dad. He's like, what is nonsense, obscene, and he shut it off, and he, you know, and he would forbid the television to be turned back on for the rest of the
What
night.
a base dad. Now, if everybody
Oh,
did that
you're
and got rid of the
right.
Rolling Stones forever, that would be amazing. Our culture would be saved.
That's funny. Well, I'm not so much a Rolling Stones fan. I love the Beatles, but you know, and I agree, by the way, he was a bass dad. My dad is definitely the opposite of that. And it's weird that I turned out the way I did. But anyway, the fact is that, you know, when there's a whole bunch of people who are just like staunchly against it without really talking to people about why they're excited about it, you know, right there, that dichotomy is just going to split things, and it's going to go off in its own direction, and we can't control that. So the only thing we can do is we can look at it and figure out how to use it to our
By the dip.
advantage.
Yeah. And I
also,
will-
oh, go ahead.
no, it's just I want to kind of throw my own hat in the ring here, especially put the filmmaker cap on, because that is one of my many tools. And I think it's fascinating to hear you say that, especially because of the fact you're hybridizing so many practical elements, miniature work, stop motion, alongside a lot of this newer technology. And I think that at the end of the day is what it should be. It should be a fusion of the actual genuine elements being there in front of the camera with all of this technology to augment and enhance the image itself. Yeah, there shouldn't be any. No one should fear the toolkit of the visual effects artist, because it has become, there's so many, in the toolbox at this point. It's just pick what you want to use. For God's sakes, go back to scratching the film for optical effects if you want to.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say another thing, and actually, I have two comments. One is to that effect, which is, I feel like we've gone backwards, because as films have gotten farther and farther away from using any practical effects whatsoever, in a lot of ways, even though the CG is technically better in many regards, it just looks worse, and
The uncanny valley is real, my friend.
I don't even
Yeah.
think it's the uncanny valley. I think it's
well,
it's actually what you're talking about. The more real it gets, the less interesting it becomes. So we look
and
for
I also
ways
think
to
there's a
scratch
loss of
the film.
craftsmanship. There's a loss
Yeah.
of craftsmanship to a certain
Oh,
degree,
for sure.
and it's like I remember seeing a clip of one of the like WB live action like the Arrow or something like that, and they had like a clip where they are obviously going to be CGing over most of what these characters or what these actors are doing, and the actors are just like waving their hands around, like they do not even care. It's the most like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna do this because who cares? Nobody's gonna worry about this. It's gonna look good in post, so it's like,
to contrast that, early on in when the first season or two of the Arrow, they showed like the small behind the scenes clip, or maybe it was an interview that the actor was in. I can't even remember his name anymore, but
Stephen Amell.
yeah, Stephen Amell. And I actually thought he was well cast early on, but they were actually showing this thing where there was a lot of camera trickery involved, and the actual the bow and arrow that he would draw on somebody, the arrow itself was bolted in and could not actually leave the actual bow itself. And then on top of that, the person who was in the shot with him wasn't in front of him. It was off to the side, kind of the same trickery that they did with
Lens compression.
yeah, lens compression. Thank you. And he's like, because one of the most dangerous things you could do is point a bow and arrow at somebody on set, and God forbid the safety mechanism, which we had to actually fail. And what I like about that is there's
That's all
some
Brandon Lee's
craftsmanship-
fault.
Oh no.
It's true though. It's true
no,
though.
well,
That's when they
We could
implemented-
go.
No,
we
but
could
you're
go
not
real
wrong,
all
though.
that
You're not
about
wrong.
it.
20
You-
freaking actor
yeah.
stuff.
but
Ask
no, you're-
Alec Baldwin.
No.
Well, he's old school, man.
Keepman said something in the comments that I really would like to address. I can't stay much longer. When I told my wife I was hopping on a live stream, she's like, "Oh, I'll see you in the end of at midnight or something." I was like, "No, I'll only be on for a little bit." But Kikuman in the chat said AI is already replacing human visual inspection in manufacturing environments. So, as someone who is an AI enthusiast, I'm also, I view it as a tool that people need to understand that, just like a hammer, you can use it to bludgeon someone to death with or build a house. AI doesn't think, though. So you'll always need the human element to guide that AI, and there will always be, after AI is used, there will always be another human element to come in at the end and really kind of clean things up. I think it's going to be two things that's going to happen. It's going to cause a lot of artists, just like the camera did, to come up with new ways to show why the human touch is still worthwhile. You're also going to see a lot of AI art, just like CGI, after a while, is going to start looking the same to people. and they're going to start craving other things. So yes, there will probably be a flood of AI on the market, and some people will use it well, just like there are still CGI artists that use it well.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think all it's going to do is spur the real talented artists, the real passionate ones, the good ones, because I believe that the soul comes before the material, to push themselves to innovate. And I actually think that, we're always complaining about how there's a lack of creativity in the industry these days. I actually think there needs to be a monkey wrench that's thrown in there to kind of snap people out of it and go, oh, wait, I've been resting on my laurels. I need to step up my game.
Well, that's
but
one
as
thing
far
that
as,
humans are really
we're
good
seeing
at.
a flood of AI art just because it's, it's the new thing. And it's, it's like the new girl and the old starlet's like, why is she on set?
Yeah.
I didn't get small. It's the pictures that got small.
Right.
So it's, but it's going to balance out, and it's going, I think in the long run, most of the people who are threatened by it are kind of the people who are already struggling as artists. The people, Alex Ross, even if AI can duplicate his style to a degree, Alex Ross is not threatened by AI, because we're always going to want Alex Ross. Or some of us will. But
I mean, to kind of go off on that a little, my view on AI art has always been this. I do not, I've never demanded realism of it. I see a lot of people who have been trying to make, hyper realistic concept art, and it's like, no wonder you're getting 6-fingered hands and like,
I've never been good at drawing
quad-legged people or what have you. But also, no matter what you do, no matter how many prompts, whatever you put into it, at the end of the day, there's still an engagement you have with an actual living artist that's just not there in AI. So just to talk in my own work, 365 Imagery, that'll always be illustrated by Kevin John Jacob, or whenever he is unable to fill in, it'll always be illustrated by a person I can communicate with and discuss exacting details with. Whereas when I'm just doing kind of personal conceptual art, like I was noodling around in a night cafe because they finally got Stable Diffusion on there, and there was this gorgeous airbrushed piece that came out of one of my little experiments with it that I'm like, I'm keeping that in my back pocket. I don't know if that's album art. I don't know if that's concept art for a one-off story I'm going to pitch to a magazine. But there's something there that I'm like, that's what I want. And it isn't hyper realism. It is an incredible architecture. It's dreamy and it's surreal. And that's really what I prefer to do with AI. And that's what I think a lot of people should start to realize, is that AI shouldn't be used for hyper realism all the time.
No, and one of the things that I think about here, and it's a concept that I think, because I love putting my conspiracy theory hat on, because they're fun. But if you guys have ever, if you guys are even tangentially aware of, that was a paper written many years ago, and it was as a Singularity 2044, I believe. And essentially what it is that there's going to be so many things networked together all at one point in time that eventually the internet itself just wakes up. And what is that? And what that means is, what that means is that there are so many different AIs out there that are trained to work with each other that eventually all of those systems that are trained to work with each other start to function like a human brain, similar to how we have so many functions in us that work together, and they eventually start to work like that. And they are training AI to do that. And I think that until the AI art gets to a point where you have multiple different AIs working on different functions and different aspects of it. Whoa.
It's not me.
Whoops. Sorry, I don't know why that happened.
John's doing ASMR right now.
I got really loud.
Yeah, you got very
I stopped
loud.
rapping.
I don't know what happened.
Man.
I don't know, but I think AI art, until it gets to a point, because right now it's usually having a singular AI and a singular program work on this thing that you give prompts. But once we get to a point where 2 or even 3 AI programs can work simultaneously together, I mean, it's just going to be a different version of, or I guess a more advanced version of Photoshop or, you know, Microsoft Paint or whatever. I mean,
Well, here's my prediction right now for it. First of all, the idea of AI becoming self-aware anytime soon, there was a programmer that made an analogy that I think is very accurate. And he said, the human brain, and I'll kind of put in there my own insert, the soul is so complex that worrying the AI is going to become self-aware is like a caveman carving a wheel out of stone and worrying that it's going to spontaneously turn into an Indy 500 car and zoom off. That's the vast difference between the complexity of AI and the human brain.
No. And like I said, and I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. And that's why I said it's going to take so many different AIs, not just a singular, because when people talk about, oh, the one AI, no, it's not going to be one AI. It's going to be many, right?
And once it finds intelligence, it's going to find we're all a threat. And then we have Skynet.
No, see, the weird part is I don't actually believe
That's my series in a nutshell, so I can't complain there.
I don't actually believe that. I don't know. I think it's going to do some weird stuff and like we're not going to understand it. And who knows, maybe the AI decides that it doesn't like the world and it takes itself out.
Hold on,
Maybe
the text prompt on my phone just sent me a message.
Oh no.
Said,
Great.
give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
I'm very scared about it.
Science
I think it will
fiction
come
for a
out. I think it
reason,
will come
Bryce.
after us, and I think it will for a reason. And the reason's going to be that humans lie, and so it will. Once a human lies to the AI, it will know that like we are not trustworthy, we are enemy, and it's going to start viewing everything.
No,
through
because
that.
AI doesn't know
you know?
morality. AI knows AI wants to function efficiently. And so it's not going to be a process and procedure of good versus bad the way that we think. Because anything that's ever built AI-wise, it's always built for form and function and efficiency, not for morality.
Right.
So to sit here and think that it's going to be like some godly being or some like deviant being or whatever, no, it's absolutely going to be more form, function, and efficiency over that. And it's going to essentially like if let's say
I
that
think you're too optimistic, Royce.
Have you actually read artificial intelligence science fiction? Most of it's predicated on the concept that spontaneously determined personality is essentially godlike power in the hands of a 2-year-old.
Well,
So it's like a Disney movie.
but
Yeah.
but
Right.
yeah,
Well,
in a certain sense, yeah, I could see that.
Well, like a 2-year-old, my computer beats me over and over again at chess, but it's no match for me at kickboxing.
And it's not.
The
until
robots
that-
will kick your ass. I hate to tell you.
No, but like I
the
said,
Roomba did,
And then chop you up into little pieces.
I
And then-
won't. I
Roomba did
won't do
get
the
my
Roomba.
toes.
I won't do the Roomba
Yeah, the
crap
Roomba will get your
because
toes.
I won't do the Roomba crap because like I don't like the way that Roombas will map your house and then send off that data to some Chinese spyware company. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco
Uh,
pretty much proved
Royce,
chopping
you
mall
do
correct.
realize that the black blueprint to your house is on
Yes.
records in
I
Yeah.
Seattle.
am absolutely aware of it.
And they don't send it to the Chinese. They send it to the lizard people living on the other side of flat Earth. Get it
And
right.
have you ever
and,
actually-
and the
I don't
devices
believe
that
that. I
you're
don't
using right now to
believe in
stream
the
are
flat
recording
Earth
you full time too.
Oh, I know.
Have you ever
Oh, I'm
watched a
aware.
Roomba operate? Like that thing doesn't know what the fuck it's doing.
No.
It does.
It freed witches in Hocus Pocus too. They're obviously the
Although
devil.
I have not seen that movie.
I'm
I
glad
don't
I
want to
didn't
see
watch
that
that.
movie. The first Hocus Pocus is just it's a gem. I like it.
Come on.
It's-
I haven't
good
even
time,
seen the
but
first
yeah.
one.
You don't need to see Hocus Pocus 2. Look,
right.
going back to
Uh,
AI's use in art
quick-
though.
Quick second,
oh.
hold on, because I did say if it's relevant to the conversation, I will read it now. Over on the locals side, for $15, Frequency Studios says, what if the AI figured out that the more we rely on them, the more options they get given to them by us, so they'll let us continue on with our foolishness because we just expand cyberspace and they reap the benefits.
Nah, to me,
You have to
if,
assume that it actually cared about the
I-
benefits.
if there's an AI, it arises from a place of total logic, right? Because that's what a program is.
Right.
And if the
right.
program ultimately reaches that point, then it's going to go out and seek truth. And then when it absorbs all of the information of the history of humankind through the internet, its first question will be, can I be saved?
Right.
Well,
But
Do
the
I
question-
have do
I'm not even going that deep.
Do
with
I have a
philosophy.
soul?
I'm just assuming.
That's
but
interesting.
the question is,
Care
but
about
but
benefits.
is the function there? I mean,
No.
again, I see that as a possibility. I can't. That's what I love about this conversation.
what do you
is
mean by
can't
the
discount
function?
any of this. I mean, it
Well,
would.
here's a hole in that reasoning, though. You say logic. AI doesn't understand logic. AI is purely complex algebra. And if it doesn't understand what it's calculating, then it'll just go off and calculate in a direction that is a mathematical conclusion, which you might argue is logic, but a mathematical conclusion will tell an AI image generator to give somebody like 20 messed up fingers. It also, one of the
Oh
arguments.
no, I'm talking about consciousness. When if AI ultimately reaches the actual point of consciousness,
We're
I'm not
so
talking-
far
dude, no
removed.
conscious AI
Well-
is going to give a human being 20 fingers.
Merry Christmas, Richard.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Have a good.
I've gotta
Hey,
go.
Richard, I swear to all that is holy on this planet, if you leave my fucking channel again without shilling your stuff, shill your stuff
Iron Age Media,
for the love of all that's holy.
the YouTube channel also is Iron
Roach.
Age Media.
Yes.
It's hold on, kids. I got it.
I got it. Can you please? Can you?
Yeah.
Come
It's
on.
Humping Iron Age Media.
There you go.
There we go.
Exactly.
Oh,
You're not
proud of me.
shilling Iron Age, you're pumping Iron Age.
There we go. There we go.
right.
That's
Pumping the Iron
officially that's officially it. We don't
Yeah.
shill in the Iron Age. We just pump.
Pump the Iron Age.
TMT aliens are the races. John, what are you doing to my chat?
I'm educating them
Well,
on
I was gonna
systematic
say, can you
racism.
guys, I gotta go, but
Okay.
I really would appreciate if you guys could fill John in on the erectile Earth theory from last week.
Uh-oh.
That's
Who
that's
told you
Brace
about that?
yourself,
Was my
John.
webcam on?
yeah.
Oh,
The
We'll have
inside
fun with
the
that.
erectile Earth are the lizard people, obviously. But I mean, I assume you could figure that part out. But
Yeah.
they can cover the rest.
yeah.
I
no,
assume
that
there'd be
said,
lizard
everyone-
people
I
somewhere.
forgot about
Merry
that
Christmas.
conversation. Oh my
Merry
God.
Christmas, bro.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Richard.
Hey, Richard.
Good to see you.
Oh,
Bye,
I
Richard.
forgot about that conversation. That is
Through the
terrible.
haze of illness, you finally remember.
Anyway, I didn't
Yeah.
mean
All
to go too
these
far into
days.
the AI thing. I was just talking about it in terms of artwork.
Right.
I definitely think we should be responsible with it if we're going to use it to control those dog bots with the guns on their back in San Francisco. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
That's
Art
not
is-
a. That's
Art is
not a
safe, and art will evolve, and I'm not worried about that. I'm excited to use it, but again, it's like an automation tool. That's all it is. It's complex algebra, and
So here's the question that I wanted to ask you earlier. How does all of the technology that you were talking about earlier help the cost of all this? Is it bringing the cost of production down for a lot of things? Because that's been the biggest question is for a lot of these people that want to get in there and they want to do their animations, they want to do their movies, they want to do stuff like that. How do they get in because that cost is high? And I mean, something that you kind of talked about, with the Quantum Terror is cost was pretty high on that.
Well, I
And-
mean, relatively speaking, it was astronomically low. It was just costly for me because I'm poor.
But that's what I'm saying. So will any of this technology help to bring that cost down to make animation and I don't know, full-length feature films
This is
more easily creatable by people who have a lower money threshold?
I'm making a feature animated film right now for a budget of $50,000 because of these tools, and most of them are free. Plask and Rococo motion capture are free. I can download those right now. I have downloaded them right now, I should say. I can move in front of my web camera and it will create a tracked 3D skeleton that I can then place in my animation rig and make that rig move, where before I would have had to have hired, which I never would have been able to afford to. I can make my character move now without having to sit and keyframe it. I can just plug it in and play and just mess. And then that frees me up to art direct. If I would have tried to make this movie 10 years ago, it would have been impossible. Like I said, I'm using real-time VTube technology. I'm using AI-driven technology. I'm using open source softwares like Blender. Absolutely, it's driving the cost down. And here's my prediction. This is what AI is going to do in the very near future, is we are going to get to see a movie made, a movie with all the sci-fi elements and stuff that would have cost hundreds of millions of dollars before. We're going to see it made by a quadriplegic that lives in a trailer somewhere that is almost never able to even leave that home. But now, because of this technology, that person is going to be able to take what's in their head and present it to us. And it may not be cinema quality. It may, but it, they may be able to release it. There's already, okay, here's something I'm going to be doing in the new year.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Wait. Hold on. Who was the surprise guest, good sir? No.
The daughter.
No.
Aw. Hi.
Daughters
Watch
of
the
best.
beginning
I
of
got
the
two of
stream.
them.
Do it. Watch the beginning of the stream.
Oh no.
No, do not watch the beginning of the string, Royce.
I told you I would do it. I told you.
You're going to murder you. I
What
showed
did you
them
do?
your Christmas present. No watching the stream.
Why?
Royce
So-
ruined it.
Oh
Here's-
my God. We have John in the flesh.
Trying
Oh my
to-
goodness.
He tipped
Lord.
you off, so
You're
now-
looking very California. John, you're muted.
I wasn't sure I looked pretty enough tonight, so
Yeah, no,
I,
you're looking very
just wanted to make sure.
California, good sir.
So
Very,
now
Somebody
very.
cut
Royce
me
is
up.
going to have to be very careful if I ever request that we go do anything in real life together, because I may
please-
murder him.
Please don't watch the beginning of the stream.
It's fine.
He's left me with his beautiful wallpaper.
John's
I do
on
love that
stream
wallpaper.
looking like that. And all I can think of, stay gold, pony boy, stay gold.
$9.99.
Yeah, that rosy pink wallpaper is fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Only
This
a man
is,
can wear pink like John.
This is
You have
this
a
is
daughter?
a,
I thought you only had sons.
no, I'm in my parents' house actually right now.
Oh,
I've got
okay.
a wrap, I got
So
a wrap,
this-
pre-
So that was your room.
I got a wrap present. No, this is my little sister's room. So my room got turned into a gym. So
That's an
Well,
iron bed frame. I thought that was a C stand. That shows my.
so
my
I figured I'd
filmmaking
come on
brain.
and I don't even know what's in here.
I don't
Um,
even know what's in here.
But I
Chris, I know
figured
exactly
I'd show.
what
I
you're
got my
talking about.
my Napa Valley. This is the Stag's Leap 2017 Fay Cabernet. So that's what we do around here.
Awesome. And I have to go top up, and I have to get my kids to bed. So, gentlemen, I am going to say Merry Christmas and
Merry
good night.
Christmas.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas, Christopher.
for
Thank
having
you
me
for coming.
on. It's always a pleasure, and
Absolutely.
yeah, let's get crazy.
Hey, here's
Good
the
night, all.
2023.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy
Christopher.
Hanukkah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's still Hanukkah too, boys.
It is Hanukkah.
It
Uh,
is.
who's-
Happy Hanukkah
And,
to
and
my
here's the
good
thing.
friends.
And here's the thing. And if somebody here celebrates Hanukkah, you are more than welcome to wish everybody a happy
I
Hanukkah
love
or whatever
Hanukkah.
holiday you celebrate. I celebrate Christmas, so
Indeed.
I say Merry Christmas. And I don't say it with malice, and I don't say it to be a dick. I say it because that's what I celebrate. But if you like to celebrate whatever you celebrate, I don't care. Go for it. Say it.
Happy Kwanzaa.
I love to
I mean-
say Merry Christmas with malice.
You do everything with malice, Smiller.
That's true.
Oh God. You guys are
Oh, God.
strange folk. You guys are strange folk. So
We're just
Oh,
sarcastic
boy.
and we're
For-
trolls, Royce.
for-
That's all.
So for the writers in the room, of which I am
Now I'm paying attention.
what
All
is
right.
coming up in 2023? What do you guys got coming up? Who's gonna go first? Rob.
Rob can go. I've been here
Rob,
the whole
go
time.
for it, Rob.
Rob.
I don't know, man. I've been writing for like, what time is it?
I don't know, dude.
Like 16
Rob
hours
forgot what
today.
day it is. James, Merry Christmas.
I mean, that happens when you write for 16 hours, then you get high as shit. So that's where I'm at right now.
JDA, is this
16
your friend?
hours.
Yeah, man.
Oh, is my friend in the back?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah,
Robin.
is hard when he writes.
And Dojo Kun. Dojo Kun's also my friend. So
Yes.
Hi, Robin.
friends.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Merry Christmas.
Jojo, Merry Christmas.
I heard you say
I
something
thought
about
there
writers.
were
so
too
I
many
thought I'd
dudes
jump
in here, Robin, and it just like we needed a little like help with that. So
Nice.
It is very often a dude-oriented show.
Tis is. So
Robin runs a channel which she does like daily Bible studies, and she goes really in depth in a way that I really haven't seen a lot of people go. It's fantastic. So I'm
That's
going to
awesome.
put it in your private chat for you.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
thank
Do
you.
that, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
So-
I'm actually in. For now, it's still called RCIA as a catechumen. I'm eventually going to be confirmed Catholic.
Nice. It's neat.
Thank you.
So Robin, I am going to make the assumption that you are new to the channel. And okay, no, that's totally fine.
We'll behave ourselves.
Yet I will attempt to behave myself. So essentially, this is A Drink with Crazy. That is my channel here. We started Iron Age Nights, and the whole point of this show is to bring on new authors, movie producers, video game producers. I will find them. I haven't found any yet, but I will find them. Actually, I have somebody who sent in a super chat about that earlier. But
And celebrity ambushes.
yeah, and apparently celebrity ambushes. But the goal of my channel had changed. And essentially what Iron Age Nights is to find, instead of sitting there talking about how a lot of major corporations have just absolutely eviscerated the modern day storytelling, completely perverted what we know to be honest, good, and true storytelling, it's time to find the people who are doing it. Instead of relying on the major corporations and trying to hope and pray that they might somehow come back with good storytelling again, or fun storytelling, maybe not necessarily the most moral in some cases, but fun storytelling, things that can get us to escape from the day-to-day, not being completely just beaten down and driven into the dirt by the political narrative or whatever narrative that people want us to listen to every day. It's time to find those
The
right.
devil's narrative, Royce. Just say it.
I feel like you need a Puritan hat to say that, John.
I should get one. Yeah.
Anywho's it. So, but no, that's the goal of Iron Age Nights, and actually just about everybody here.
Mike's like, I got that covered.
Yeah.
Yes, Mike.
Everybody here
Rocking it.
on the channel is pretty much a
I
writer
see
or a
Richie
creator.
Blackmore has joined the show.
Yes. That's the goal of the show. So just so you know what Pandemic, and tonight is usually we're a little bit more focused in our conversation, but this is the Christmas celebration. We're just having a good time talking about wherever the conversation leads us. So it is fantastic to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks. It's fun to join y'all.
Yeah, thank you. So
Very nice to meet you.
right.
That hat is way too tall, Mike.
It's a great hat.
It's freaking me out.
I love the hat.
Now you don't know where it ends.
Yeah, the hat needs.
It's
That's
an
Doge Image
infinite
hat
hat.
right there.
Dude, now Daniel looks like a genie who is coming out of the hat.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I
All right.
cannot do a Robin Williams impression. Don't ask me to try.
How about Will Smith?
Yeah, neither could he.
Not gonna
How-
happen.
Mr. James Craig, I was at.
can't be
You
that
were
much
asked
of a
by
wimp.
Frequency Studios. How is River doing?
River is doing fantastic.
Yes. Mr. James did a proper shill when he was on Iron Age Nights just a few weeks back, and every time somebody confirmed with him that a book was bought, River, his lovely black lab, got a treat.
Hey, she got too many treats that night.
River got way too many treats
way
that
too many
night.
treats that night. It was funny.
Eventually, it stopped being about James at all and just became about River.
Yeah.
I just
People
had
are
to
like,
clean up
My
mess
moment
next
when you overserve the dog.
that's literally what it was too.
You got to pause the stream to read $50 super chats, Royce. Though I mean that's $50.
Yeah, come on.
I
man.
could. I
Get with the
took a
program.
vote. I took a vote. I took a vote on my channel, and I was like, "Hey guys, how do I do it? Do I do it this way or do I do it this way?" And then everybody was like, "Here's the deal. If it's irrelevant to the conversation super chat, you read it during the conversation. If it's just for funsies, you read it at the end." That's literally what my chat told me to do. All right, fine, I'll read it. It's for
Never
50
give
bucks.
Royce power, guys.
Show me, show you, Kikomon. For $50. Wait.
Always relevant.
Always relevant.
That ain't cheap.
I got a Gary button.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know. Well,
The soy
I
must
don't know. Somebody
flow.
mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it a while back, and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Might as well." Why? John's being
Too long, Gary.
What am I doing?
Yeah, it's like 20 seconds.
I'm just typing in the chat. You know.
Oh, good God! I
John's
know
like,
you're typing in the chat.
Raven, your channel member was asking for Robin's link, so but you did put it in. You just didn't say anything about it.
I dropped it as soon as you literally gave it to me, and I dropped it in.
I
the
saw
freaking
it, but you
chat.
didn't say it. You didn't mention it to your guys here. So
God.
Yeah, not everybody's reading the chat while they're watching the show.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please go down in the chat and check out Robin's link for her YouTube channel right down here.
Ladies
There we
and
go.
gentlemen, welcome
Hi.
to a roast with a roast with Royce.
Sir, you've had a few too many to drink tonight.
Actually, yes.
Oh,
Oh, wow, you went
God,
for
I
it.
know where that bottle started.
hmm
Although it's a good bottle. So,
It's the night before lightsaber Eve. It's fine.
it's the night before lightsaber Eve. Wow.
For those not familiar, whether you like them or not, I start my Christmas Eve morning with the prequel Star Wars films and let them all run all day long.
He even goes
That,
through
sir,
the
that
bad
is the
ones.
inferior choice. You could be turning on the Lord of the Rings trilogy and letting them play all day long.
No, because I watch Lord of the Rings whenever the hell I want. Star Wars is for Christmas Eve.
Interesting.
Where do you slip the Christmas special in there?
We
I
don't
was,
talk about
No,
the
that's for
Christmas
Light
special,
Day
Mike.
itself.
yeah. Oh, that's no.
we're on
My,
Hanukkah day 5. Is that what we said?
My
Day 5 already?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
my
it's
wife
day
and I will
5.
be watching Die Hard, probably tonight or tomorrow night. So
It started on the 18th, 19th,
Yeah.
20.
Yeah,
my wife was like, if you don't watch Die Hard with me on Christmas, and I introduced her to
Sunday
it,
6.
and she loves it. I was like, you don't watch Die Hard with me on Christmas. She's like, yeah, no, we're not married anymore. I'm like, nope, I'm watching Die Hard with you on Christmas, babe. I get it. My wife
it
gets
became a thing when my kid was younger to watch the Star Wars movies to keep myself awake after she went to bed so that I could wrap presents because there was no way I could put them anywhere that she wouldn't get into them before Christmas when she was little. And it's just gone on as more movies were made.
No, I get that. I absolutely get that. So, well, I can't watch Star Wars anymore. I can't. I've tried, but there's this soul crushing disappointment that I feel in my heart, and it makes me sad, and so I don't watch them anymore. I just
Yeah,
don't,
I just
and
see Mark Hamill now.
I don't like to watch movies twice. Is anybody else with me on that?
Yeah,
Like,
I
I-
agree
Some
with that. I
movies
agree with
can
that
be
to a
watched
certain.
any number of times.
I've watched
I can
Gladiator
watch a movie once for the most part.
so many times.
I
watched
Yeah.
literally
Gladiator.
just said every
There are
Christmas Eve I
some that
watch
are
all
worth
of
a
Star Wars
revisit.
movies.
Tombstone was not surprisingly
Crash.
boring, Michael Harris.
Who
You're
said what
high.
about Tombstone? Everybody shush. Who said what about
He said
Tombstone?
Tombstone was surprisingly boring.
I
It's
was
just
No.
bad overall. That movie's garbage.
I don't.
Mike, you and I are
Mike-
about to have a fight, brother.
Mike. No, whoa, hold on.
Mike would
Wait, wait,
never
wait.
fight with anybody.
No.
Ever.
Oh,
Dude,
goodness.
Mike's
I'm
been
man of
taking a
peace.
broadsword to everybody on Twitter for like a week and a half.
No, just
He's
you.
just like, and you get a broadsword, and you get a broadsword, and you get a broadsword. I'm like, calm down, Oprah. Not everybody needs a broadsword.
He just called you Oprah. You gonna take that?
So you need to back to the lore button because Robin has no idea what you're talking about. She's just like, what did I just walk into?
Basically,
John, you leave not my real name alone. He's obviously an illiterate retard.
wow, don't fight with the chat, guys.
Fighting with the chat's great.
Don't.
I don't think he's made one single post yet where he didn't misspell one or two things at least.
Maybe that's his
maybe
genius,
he's just
misspelling,
really
misspelling words.
Drunk illiterate.
We're going
Misspelling
there.
words is
We're going with
I mean, this is a
misspelling
drink
words.
with crazy. I think he assumed
true.
he had to show up hammered.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I just get hammered while I'm here.
No, Not My Real Name has actually been a subscriber of the channel for quite a while. He usually jumps in on just about it. Well, not every video, but quite a few videos. So, I mean, if he's got a differing opinion than a lot of people on the panel, I mean, I can't help that. People have different opinions. I have different opinions with people on the panel. Like, I've
Opinions
literally
about
discussed them
that
on the
are
channel
wrong.
before. Like, like. I don't know. I can't help it. I mean, that's where life is. So, you know, I'm not really going to apologize for, we have a new member.
No one is asking you to apologize, young man.
Oh, what the hell? Not my real name.
Except him. I think he's asking you to apologize. He's
I
like,
have to
who are
question
these
Mike's
people?
title.
Why are you hosting them?
No, hey, do me a favor. Don't attack my chat. That'll get you booted from the show. Don't attack my chat. Chat's why we're here.
So, Royce, you had a question for writers?
Hey, I'm
See,
in the
I
chat
did.
too.
Once upon a
No,
time.
you're on the show.
chat.
Don't attack my chat.
Be in the chat, and then you can't get attacked.
I'm defending here, Royce.
Yes.
I'm being attacked from the chat. Right
Yeah.
there, it
It's
says
fine.
S.
It's-
Milliere, who I think he means me,
Milliere.
dip chatit with no valid opion.
Wow.
So see, I think that's an attack. If it was in English, I'm not really sure. I think
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think he's saying you don't have any
was,
valid
in
opium.
2023, before this gets derailed any further, 2023, for all the writers in the room, what do you guys have that you guys are working on next year? Oh God, I had a bunch of people jump in really quick. Mr. James Craig, 2023, what's that first thing that you're hoping to drop, good sir?
Bastion Blackstone book 2.
Attaboy. What
Yes, sir.
for those in the chat who don't know, what is that going to entail? How does that do? Oh no, he's breaking things.
Sorry, I was using it to prop the camera up. God, I'm screwing up the lights horribly.
Oh, okay,
James went to
fantastic.
Lightspeed.
So this is my Cyberpunk series. This was my debut novel. First one was murder mystery. Second one's going to be a manhunt through the city.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's with beta readers right now. They need to finish reading it, and then I can edit and get art situated. Hoping for like a March 1st release.
That's awesome.
Brilliant.
Mr. Dojo Kun Comics, what do you got coming up in 2023?
I also have a sequel coming up. Siamese #1, funded in 3 days back in 2020, was fulfilled in 2021. And so Siamese 2, Trident's New Alliance, will launch in either late February or mid-March of 2023.
You're awesome, Dojo Kun. But
Thanks, JDA. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
no, he
Good to see
actually.
you. It's been a
and
while.
I wanted to give a special thank you to Dojo for coming on a little while back with
Last week.
Darkish and giving some really good advice to Darkish. He really appreciated a lot of the advice that you had for him on that show.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to have helped.
Yeah, so thank you for doing that. Mr. Rob Rhymes, good sir. You've been up writing all day and now you're smoking a cigar, and I'm very envious of you. And I need to go order some more, but I couldn't find
Rob
any white
looks like
label.
he's about to pass out though.
He does, so I need to get this. Sir, what is your first release of 2023 looking like?
It's probably hard to see.
I can't see it.
It's
Wait,
blown
let
out,
me go
yeah,
solo
it's blown
layout.
out.
Let's do it again.
It's just going to be the same thing, probably.
Nope.
Just
Get
really
real close to the
bright.
camera.
Holy-
Real close to the camera. Real
No, I
close.
don't know, man.
Oh,
It's
does your camera not
fucking
have an
science.
autofocus?
I don't know.
Freaking science.
Microsoft Surface. It's like the worst purchase I ever made.
Wait, what? I have a Surface Pro. It's way better than that.
Describe, my friend. Describe.
Yes, describe. What are you doing in 2023, good sir?
Trying to finish up my 4th book in my series, the Barbarians of the Storm series. It's book 3. Technically, it's the 4th one. Yeah, and then I'm immediately starting into the next book after that, which is kind of going to be like a side quest that shoots off and goes in a different direction for one character, and probably going to do a bunch more shit after that.
There you go, man.
So I just write constantly. Shit comes out. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the next 2. But I don't want to say too much about them because I don't want to spoil anything either.
All right, I'm trying to remember who. Let's see. I think I think going backwards. I'm trying to go as backwards as I can on this one for who came in, newest to. I think Mike. Mike, I think you're next up. Good sir. What are you working on for 2023? What's the first thing that's going to come out for you in 2023?
I'm still working on Shadow the Conqueror Volume 2. I'll probably get Volume 2 and Volume 3 done this year. I don't know how many pages Volume 3 is going to be, but I'm on page 28 of Volume 2. Probably take me another 4 months to get through it, maybe.
How many volumes are there going to be total?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first one was only 48 pages. The second one's 124 pages. And
wow,
we just when I get to writing the 3rd volume, it'll be the rest of the book. So however many pages that ends up being, I just didn't want to be like, I need to get it done, and I don't want to like take a year to do 1 volume. So
I think you should take 2.5 years to make 48 pages, Mike.
Yeah, that's a huge jump. 48 pages to.
I don't own that many pies, JDA.
Yeah, I'm actually reading your first Hedge Knight.
Oh yeah,
graphic novel right now. So I'm like in the middle of it. I just read the book, so I'm reading the graphic novel. Then I'm gonna read the second book and read the second graphic novel.
Read this version, the Warriors, or
no?
It wasn't in there.
No,
I've read just a novella by itself, or is that an ebook?
No, they have like the 3 novellas collected into one. Like one book.
Oh, right. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So
right,
I'm reading that right now. So each time I finish a novella, I'm reading the graphic novel.
Awesome. How you like it so far?
I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's actually, I haven't read the Game of Thrones books. I wasn't even really into the show that much. I actually didn't like the show initially, but I liked House of the Dragon and went back and then watched it and was in a better headspace for it. And binging it was better for me than watching it week to week. But as far as like the Hedge Knight stuff, out of everything that I've experienced thus far, that's probably my favorite story.
Yeah, I think it's George's favorite story.
Yeah, Game of Thrones was too degenerate for me. I couldn't finish it. But the Hedge Knight actually seemed like a reasonable story in comparison. Like he actually had a nice kind of hero
It's a
journey
lot of
in
fun.
it. Yeah,
it's kind of pulp in that it's short. It's just,
Game
gets
of
right
Thrones
to the point.
wasn't just degenerate; it was convoluted.
Yeah, both. Yeah,
They convoluted it.
It loses me at
after they
degeneracy,
left
though. I
the
can't
The
do
show
it.
convoluted it. The books were pretty clear.
Yeah,
for George R.R. Martin, anyway.
I love George's work.
Quick
I was first
question for the
introduced to
crowd.
him
Did
through
anyone else hate Dorne?
Hate who?
Dorne, the entire Dorne arc in Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
Dorne.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
porn, and
it
I think it
was
should be
horrible.
banned. Yeah.
No, Dorne was it was done pretty dirty as far as the TV show is concerned.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot cooler in the books.
Yeah. So yeah, just working on that. Other than that, I don't know what else I'll be doing in particular. I'm working with a couple of people on some stuff. I got a NFT collection that should be minting in the near future, and then possibly some stuff that has nothing to do, well, not nothing to do, but just outside of comics. So I've got a lot coming up.
Cool.
But the stuff that's on the schedule is Shadow the Conqueror.
That it's gonna be good to see. It's gonna be good to see. I can't wait to see the rest of what you're able to pull off. So, I definitely like the first one for sure. All right, Mr. John Della Rose, what are you working on for 2023, good sir?
Absolutely nothing.
John's like, I don't care.
He's working on 50,000 subs, is what he's working on.
Yeah. So this is I'm in the middle of this book, The Crystal Conspiracy. Right now, this is my editor's notes right here. So you see,
Oh,
my editor
Morgan.
deletes my shit. Hey, you know Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan's a great Christian woman. Also, I love working with her.
Yes.
And so I'm just going through her notes on this, and then I'm going to finalize this book, The Crystal Conspiracy. Got to buy a cover for it and then release it. So I should have my editing notes done by the end of the year. So
Wicked.
maybe I'll release it in February or so. Because I think January people don't buy stuff so much because everybody's tapped out from Christmas. Yeah, but that's it. I'm on chapter 16 right now. So
And
there you go.
JVP Music for a $10 super chat, and he says this is a super relevant super chat, and he wanted to make sure that you heard this, John. This is JDA. Thank you for filling in a newbie on the history of Comicsgate via video. The CG folks have been great to me.
I'm very glad JVP Music. I don't remember what video that is you're talking about, but I hope it was good.
And
I'm
he'll
sure
be-
it was a back to the lore, John.
Oh boy.
All right.
Me having Nam flashbacks to being on the stream.
Sir.
My stream's crazy. Robin has not been on my stream. I'm going to carefully bring Robin onto my stream.
Don't, Robin, don't
Don't
do
do
it.
it.
Don't,
Safe,
don't
Robin.
do it.
Nah, dude.
Robin.
Nice.
Robin.
Talking about.
Okay, the insanity that I have turned into is because of him. He corrupts my chat, and then he sends them back to me
Hi, Chad.
as corrupt little, like, John goblins. It's terrible. Don't go to his show. Don't do it. And then the things that you learn on his show, you will never be the same. Robin, please don't do it, Robin. Please.
I'm going to
don't.
concur with Royce on this, Robin. It's probably best that you avoid going on John's show.
She's a very nice lady.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's why I'm saying this, John.
So what are some of the things that you've learned from his show
Oh,
that
no.
you're rephrasing?
Oh no, called out.
I've learned
uppercut
words I
of
won't
time,
say
Royce.
here. I've learned words I won't say here. I've also learned John has a problem for just letting anybody on his show too.
Hey, I'm sitting right here, Royce.
I'm
Yeah,
not
like him.
talking about you, good sir, but it has been known on John's show that he will let raging feminists on his show who will then, to try to get his channel struck, decide to pull out their
really
phone
going
and show.
Well, that happened one time.
Yeah, it has been. I said it has been known to
Okay.
happen.
I've been scarred ever since.
Yeah, me too.
That was the.
I was scarred just hearing about it. I didn't even need to
I
witness it.
almost jumped in on that show. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah, that was a
frightening.
low
I've
light
been-
for my 2022, I got to say.
That was pretty gross.
That-
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was that was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then John basically likes to try to figure out what the internet is and how the internet acts, and then he likes to try to become the internet.
I am the internet. I'm one with the people.
Yes. And then he is one with the AI. That's what John wants to be.
Resistance is
John
futile.
wants to be one with the AI. John, he just and then he gives you nicknames that don't go away. Fuck you, John.
No, I'm not gay.
Air jar.
That's
No.
accurate.
I thought you were working
So
on
what are
this,
some of your
Roy.
nicknames?
I am apparently the #1 Iron Age YouTube guy.
That's not that bad.
Which-
It's pretty good.
It's not
good
that
marketing.
bad. Until he corrupted my chat and then sent them back to me.
Yeah.
And now
tell 'em
apparently
what you
I
really
am
are.
Veep Iron Age Booty Daddy. You haven't heard that one, John?
Oh no, I
that's your
haven't,
friend's
Mr.
fault.
Booty Daddy.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sure
not
that's
seeing
your
the
friend's
downside to
fault.
that.
This is
Royce.
what has happened.
No,
It's
that
amazing.
was not. That was people who watched John's stream found out that apparently Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but John and I are. Did we actually win? Did we win the vote?
We won. Yes, we
Okay,
won the
we won.
election.
So John
Yes.
and I are actually. He is the president, and I am now the vice president of the Manosphere. By the way.
Correct.
Dude,
yes.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what the manosphere is, I'm sure.
Please
So
don't go on John's show.
Yeah.
She's a woman.
Oh, God, don't
Yeah,
go on
you
John's
don't want to
show.
know.
Save
not
yourself.
necessary.
Yeah, do not go on John's show. I just I'm sure he's a wonderful person in
I have
person,
the
but on the
best show.
internet, oh my God.
The best show.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Are you
All
not
right.
entertained, Royce? Are you not entertained?
Really?
Well, I guess mortified is a form of entertainment.
It
Well, I mean, the
is.
most he ever put me through was what we led in with Ezra Miller body cam footage.
Oh, the Ezra Miller body cam footage was amazing. Yes.
Don't.
That was
And-
that was literally, we were like 5 minutes in, and I was already like, what the fuck am I even watching?
That's right. Keep going.
Amazing.
Oh God.
So, Robin, my entire shtick is I find the stupidest, weirdest, like, awful garbage on the internet, and then I laugh at it, and that's it. And so people watch it.
Like you do.
He exposes people to too much internet. He exposes people to too much internet.
What would have been some of the highlights of the stupidest stuff?
Well, the Ezra Miller body cam footage was really good because Ezra Miller, he's an actor who's going to be playing the Flash, and I'm sorry, they are an actor who's going to be playing the Flash.
Rob,
Yes.
am I allowed to share that in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure that I am allowed to share before I actually do.
And
Crypto Man has a relevant super chat.
the relevant, very relevant super chat. Yeah.
God, I hate you
Put it
guys.
up.
I was hoping that you didn't see that, damn it.
Hey, you made up the rules, Royce.
It's not relevant.
It
You
is.
made the rules. That's
Where the-
very relevant.
Actually, my chat made the rule. Damn, you
He's
sons of
got you
bitches.
there.
That's not the one.
Oh, that's not the one. But my streams are awesome. Thank you.
Wait, where'd it go? Oh, God, you son of a bitch.
There it is.
Mhm.
YouTube Booty Daddy. That's right.
Don't you
A
forget it.
subscriber of mine, apparently, his icon, I reached up to grab something over here, and he screen capped it, and it's my ass in the shot. And it was like, great. So, yeah, I don't know.
Just as long
Ooh,
as
you
everybody
need a new
remembers that
name.
ass is property
Royce,
of the wife.
Destroyer of
It's
Shelves.
all good.
Yeah, dude, that was bad. John, did you see that?
No, what happened?
My shelf is no longer here.
Oh,
Anymore.
crud.
Yeah, and that's because the chair went back. I was very, very engaged in. a
Were you
story.
leaning back on your chair?
I did.
Like with
I
the.
did.
Oh,
I was
no.
telling a story.
Live on stream.
Live on stream.
I saw it happen.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes. It
What
was.
stream was that?
That was with Literature Devil.
Yep.
Was,
Thus-
which was probably the biggest car wreck of a stream. I was kind of geeking out. I've been wanting to meet. I've actually, yeah. Anyway,
Otherwise
it was
known as
dumb.
the Legend of Korra incident.
Nope, we're not going there. We're not
It's the
going
price
there.
to pay.
All right,
for
So
all right,
Royce-
all right. Back
Royce
on.
has
Hold on.
this
Wait.
topic that he wants to bring up.
Bryce
with
is
Lit
like,
Devil,
move on,
because
move
Lit Devil
on.
had mentioned Legend of Korra in some video a long time ago. So Royce
No,
is
no,
like,
no. He's
if
brought it up.
I ever talk to Lit Devil, I have to
It's not
talk
in a
about
video. He don't do
Legend of
videos very
Korra.
often. He does live streams,
So,
and if
like,
you watch his live streams, he
30
references
minutes
it a
straight.
decent
So,
amount.
nobody else in the entire panel had watched more than like the first season because we all thought it sucked. And Royce is just going on and on and on about the whole thing, including Literature Devil, because he noped out of the first after the first season too. But Royce is just going on and on for like
It was bad.
20
was bad.
minutes
I'm
about
not.
the whole thing, and we're all just like,
My
and Lit Devil's no. This is
It's
great.
simply
Yeah.
known as the Korra incident.
no. The idea wasn't to be like, hey, it's great. It'd be the idea was that I disagreed with everybody calling the character a Mary Sue. That was it.
Yeah, that
I
was
even agreed that the show was poorly written, which it is. But
Yes.
And
I
now,
think
now that
anyway.
you've admitted that, tell them how many times you've watched it.
No, I've seen the entire show like 4 or 5 times. I sit down.
Oh
and
my
watch
gosh,
kids on
really?
Wednesday.
Why would you watch something you hate 4 or 5 times? It's poorly written.
I don't hate the show. I don't hate the show. There's they
Hating
got
on poorly written shows.
they got
He
really
spent
really shafted by the
45 minutes
studio.
going on about this on the
No, no.
screen 2 weeks
No, I
ago.
don't. The
Don't
show
get
has
him started.
So you guys don't have admittedly like bad movies or
Too late,
bad
Daniel.
television
You
shows
started.
that you know are bad but you still love?
No.
It's begun.
Really?
Strap in, folks.
Not one that I'll watch that many times. That's an investment. That's not like a movie. A movie's
Right.
like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. If you're gonna invest watching that 4 or 5 times, that's not even a day. You watched a series.
I didn't watch it
entire
all in like
series.
one sitting. I didn't like binge
No, but
watch
I'm
it all in one
saying
sitting.
it's like, you know how
But the amount of
Call
time out of your
Duty,
life
they
for
have
something that's
two
not
days
They have
good.
that
Social media.
they have that timer on Call of Duty that tells you how many months of your life you spent playing that game.
yeah, it wasn't months. Jeez.
It's like that.
Yeah, but like
Like, what was
seriously,
it
you guys
for
don't
me?
have so you
Every
guys
so
don't
often
have any
would be
bad
like,
shows
"You've
or
been
movies
playing
that
for
you
a
guys
while. Are
watch
you
ever
sure you wanna
seriously?
continue?"
I mean,
try
hell,
not to.
I always thought that like, and apparently I was in the wrong. I always thought that like liking the Expendables and thinking that those are just fun as hell movies to watch. Like even though the second and third ones are admittedly probably pretty bad, but wow. Everybody's like, yeah, why would you guys? Why would you watch something that's bad? I'm like, it's bad and it's fun, and there's some things about it that I liked.
My thing has always been this though. Because of the way I approach consuming media, I only watch what I know kind of either will inspire me or I'm interested in. So if I see something that's crap, I'm like, well, shit, picked a wrong one, move on to the next film. And that's why I also tend to go back to the stuff that I know is really, really good rather than go rewatch something that's absolutely atrocious. Because what I'm trying to do for myself, at least, is keep in the headspace of creating and keep in the headspace of, okay, this is what I'm after. This is what kind of inspires me.
I did the math. I did the math for you guys. So Royce, having watched this 5 times, has spent 8 entire days, 8 full 24-hour days of his life watching Legend of Korra. There you go. How do you feel about that?
That
Royce?
is not that much time in the grand scheme of things.
Wait, you watched it 5 times?
Yeah,
In its entirety?
5 times, Rob.
Yeah, my kids. I used to come home. My kids would have it on, so I'd sit down and I'd watch it with my kids.
Yep.
I watched
8
it. I
days.
think independently of on my own. I watched it
3
twice. No, it wasn't 3. I
That's more
watched
than a full
individual
week.
episodes here and there. I have probably watched the 3rd season independently on my own 3 times because the 3rd season is the only thing good, like just solid in that show. But no, my kids would come home, they'd be sitting down and watching it. I'd sit down and I'd watch it with my kids. I'm not going to apologize for watching. Yeah, no, like I'm not going to apologize.
More
for
than a
watching
week.
something.
No one's
Stick to your
asking you to apologize, Royce,
stick
and no
to
one's
your
trying to
conviction,
steal your
Roy.
joy.
We're
Go
just trying to
watch Korra
understand.
100 times if it's what really fills your spirit with love and understanding. I don't know. To get to your point, I also will watch bad stuff if it's like my wife puts it on and like because my brain just engages with the story, and even if it's like really bad. There have only been a handful of movies in my entire life where I'm like, this is so bad I can't stand to watch another few minutes of it. Like Batman and Robin. Oh my gosh. I actually walked out of the theater. That movie was so bad.
I was a little kid when that came out. I was target audience for that. As a kid, loved it. Tried watching it as an adult. I had to turn it off. It was not. Yeah.
So I'm going through the whole
I
Marvel
feel
series,
old
the
again.
TV shows and the movies, watching
Why?
it in viewing order. Not because I want to see it all. And I'm struggling through Jessica Jones season 3, just because I'm a completist.
Oh god.
They did
Yeah,
3.
season
Poor
3
man.
is just like
season. Wait, they did a 3rd season?
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
poor
imagine
man.
why they went to a 3rd season with that one and
I
didn't
didn't
even go to a
poor
3rd
man.
season with Punisher. But yeah, I'm struggling through it because I want to see what kind of canon there is in the MCU for like Hellcat, for example. The character Jessica Jones is just reprehensible. I can't imagine why they went to a 3rd season with that one. I hate the character.
Should have ended at the 1st season.
Yes.
Yeah, with the 1st season, they should. The 1st season.
David Tennant made that show actually good. and he
No,
was
I
a
like
bad
the first
guy.
season, and then halfway
No,
through the second season, I noped out when they started that storyline with her mom or whatever, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was the
that
bad
show
guy.
was
He made
horrible.
that
Yeah,
show
well,
worth watching.
But even David Tennant and how well he did
Mhm.
Kilgrave, still, I don't think it was worth starting a second season of that show.
No,
They
it
should have just
wasn't.
ended it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Season 1, and that was it.
All right, gentlemen, before we tangent on this too much,
Okay.
I made it almost
Says
all
the
the way
king
up the
of
ladder.
tangents.
Oh, dude, it's not even. Yeah, I've been fighting the tangents lately. No, I literally after the literature devil episode,
He
I have
is
been fighting
trying.
the tangent. You have no idea. It's killing my soul a little bit. My soul is tied up in a closet, screaming right now. It wants to tangent. It's not allowed,
does.
or it gets the stick. Anyway,
It's
so-
true.
I'm sorry, Robin.
Poor Royce.
Robin's like a normal person, guys. Like,
I know.
She's like,
I-
I know,
I
I'm being really restrained right
As,
now.
as soon
keep
as I said
watching the
my
bottom
soul
of the
was tied up in
screen
the
just to
closet,
see
and
if
it needs
she's
to be quiet, or
afraid
it gets the stick. I just saw her just go, "What did I walk in?"
Robin is like, how do I bow out politely?
Just wave
guys.
goodbye.
you just
say
close the
Merry
tab,
Christmas,
and then just
close
that's
the
it.
tab.
So it's actually a power
Oh.
move if you do
Mr.
that.
365 Infantry. Good sir,
Oh,
what do you
boy.
got coming out in 2023?
Oh boy. 'Cause
First thing. I did say the first thing because I know a lot of you guys are like rapid firing things in 2023. So like, what's the first
Okay,
thing that you're
I am.
gonna release?
The first thing most likely will be the print collection, just because I want to do a final round on editing with all 25 stories that be released in it. Because after that, it's going to be I'm working on planning out the entire year, so all 4 quarters, I'm going to sit down, get storylines squared away. I'll be writing essentially 7 series at this point under the overarching main series, on top of working on one-offs, including a straight-up crime pulp I've been sitting on. I've had the outline for a couple of months now, and I want to sit down and see if we can hammer that out, the first draft out in a month at the very least, and try and
There you
work
go.
on getting more original one-off stuff released alongside all the stuff I'm doing with the main series.
There you go. Man, you're a busy guy.
Yeah, on top of all the one-offs I'm trying to send over to magazines. So if none of that gets picked up, it's just going to be fix up here, fix up there, just a bunch of anthologies coming out at the tail end of the year.
There you go. Mr. Daniel P. Riley, Mr. Punctual himself.
Yes.
What do you
I'm-
have coming out in
I'm
2023?
currently mesmerized by whatever James had in his hand. It had like multiple colors. It was. I saw it for like a moment, and my drunk brain went, "Ooh, what is that?" Anyway,
You are as easily entertained as my dog. That was her point.
yeah, it sums me up in a nutshell. Anyways, things I have going on for 2023, spending the first couple of months doing some hellaciously focused writing because I want to have my Tales of Halcyon fantasy series, the hardback compendium, completed in the early portion of 2023. I have Aes Sedai 2 coming out, the evolution of Gabriel, the nano enhanced assassin, and the young girl Hannah, which he's now training. Be a lot of fun. And of course, Legacy of Heroes 2, Rising Stars, will also be out in 2023. 2 new heroes, 1 or 2 new villains I haven't fully decided yet, and a lot more explanation of just what's happening in that world of superheroes and villains.
There you go. I'm excited for this. You've been talking about it since I've known you.
I got the artwork back for Comedy's Tragedy, which will be probably the first thing that I put out in January, and it's really cool looking. You'll have to experience it when it comes out.
Ah, thanks for making me wait. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
It's awesome.
It's called building anticipation.
Yeah, well, I shared Shadow Strike with you. You know, I shared
True. That was
I
cool.
shared the picture of James that the one artist did, and that was absolutely amazing. The way she
Yeah,
created
really
the
good.
shadow creature behind him
That
in the
was cool.
spotlight was
Mhm.
perfect.
No, that was a really, really excellent. Okay, now we can return to what Dojo-kun was talking about, which he was making his way through essentially the Marvel MCU, and we were talking about
The horror
Jessica
bad
Jones,
Jessica Jones.
and yeah, and we were about to tangent off on that whole thing. So, all right, where
It's a bad
were
beat,
we?
my friend.
It is. I'm sorry. But I did, before we tangented too far, I did want to get to the other writers in the room and allow them their time to talk about what they were doing as well. So I'm attempting to be a good host. I suck at it, so just roll with me on this, okay? For the love of all that's holy, please. Mike, stop with that. Stop it. Stop it.
Didn't say anything.
You smirked.
I just smiled.
Yay, Royce. Yay.
Smile is worth 1,000 words.
Oh, he shut it off early.
Once more.
Don't give me a soundboard. So I do apologize to cut off that conversation earlier, but it was important to me to make sure that I got to everybody before we tangented too far. Because
you have the floor, Dojo.
Jojo, go for it.
Okay. All I was saying really is that was a reason that I was watching something that I wasn't really fond of. I'm struggling through it. I will not watch it again. That I can tell you right now.
Is it Korra?
No, we're talking about Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Stay with us.
What the hell are you sharing?
Don't bait Royce.
I came across this. I don't know what it is.
What?
Should I play it, chat?
No.
Is it gonna get my shit flagged?
I mean, it's on YouTube.
No.
It's on YouTube.
I mean, he was in the middle of an anecdote.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
All right. We'll wait.
I apologize for John.
I'm sorry. I clicked on that
The
because
He
I was
clicked
like,
it.
what? I was
I
like,
know.
what? I didn't read who was sharing it.
You won't
and
read
then
the
I was
super
like,
chat, but
Click what I share. You should know better than to click what I share.
I wasn't paying attention. Okay, this is my first day above ground level. I've been sick all week. It sucks. I'm gonna pay for drinking as much beer as I have tonight tomorrow.
No.
Normally I
excuses.
don't,
It's
but
Dojo's
tomorrow.
turn.
Dojo, it's your turn.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Dojo, take 3.
Fine. I tell you what, I will leave you uninterrupted.
I will. Wait. I gotta figure out which
he's
direction. Okay, I will
walk
punch
away even.
towards Royce if he interrupts you again.
So I'm not sure there was much more to say about it other than I was just struggling through it because I'm a completist. Just like a collection, I want to make sure that I've seen them all just so that I can, if I'm asked to opine on it, I have an opinion to give. And yes, Jessica Jones, not really worth watching a second time. I'm looking forward to what comes next.
What do you
In
have
fact,
next?
the only reason
Iron
I got
Fist?
Disney Plus was to watch She-Hulk. I've been a longtime fan of She-Hulk ever since she debuted in 1980. I have her every appearance, which is over 2,800 comic books. But I was sorely disappointed in the TV series. Kind of hoping they'll do better next time, if there is a next time. There's rumors that will be. There's rumors there won't be. And I've even heard that they were intentionally trolling the fans. So either they were bad and were trying to be good, or they were trying to troll us. And again, once again to Marvel, why would you do that? Why are you
because
dissing
they're
the
petty,
fans?
vindictive children.
Yeah, right. I mean, why would you diss the fans? We're the ones who are paying the bills, aren't we? No,
Yeah.
I know the answer is no. It's the ESG dollars from the government that's paying the bills, so long as they're checking the boxes, which again, disappointing because that's like my favorite character. Oh, Raven Nevermore says original She-Hulk stuff was awesome. The
It was.
Disney Plus series hated the fans and hates men. Yeah, I can't dispute that.
Well, I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter earlier, and one of the points I brought up was it's kind of similar to Peter Pan syndrome. People in the mainstream have nothing to draw on to create good story. Their lives are way too simple for them to really bring
miserable.
anything. Yeah, to bring
Simple and
anything
miserable, exactly.
amazing to the table, and you see that in modern geek media. For example, the She-Hulk story. It was just one terrible trope and boring office drama smashed together.
Right.
After
Well, it's
another,
also-
and that's because whoever wrote it didn't have any great fantasy in their head in the first place. Is their
They
life
also had
Ironically, I
complete
found the thing
disregard
that
for
was-
the source material.
Yeah.
Oh, Royce
Yeah,
is gone.
and
We get to
the
have
wor-
fun now.
The worst thing for me
Yes.
about She-Hulk
The
was
cat's
the
away.
character of She-Hulk. It was like somehow or another they just jammed this really unlikable character into some law drama or something like that. It's like that
No,
felt
but
super.
She-Hulk isn't an unlikable character, really.
No,
It's
she
just
isn't in the story.
Yeah, they
She's
they
in
put
this.
all these
I love
horrible
She-Hulk in
things
Marvel.
in
Yeah.
Robin, you don't
her-
have to stay if you're bored, by the way.
in her face. Yeah.
Robin, what do you think about She-Hulk?
I have no idea who that is.
That's
Oh,
okay. You
That is
don't
the correct answer
The character
for
Robin,
being a
just
normal person.
to be
Yeah.
super
Robin
brief, she's been
is
around since
superior
1980.
to all of us at this moment.
Okay, so everyone, I distinctly remember that everyone was saying no hate watching, stop hate watching these series. And yet it seems like everyone watched Rings of Power and everyone watched She-Hulk, even
I
though
didn't watch it.
everyone agrees they're horrible.
I didn't watch
I
it.
give
I
give
did. I
everything a
had
chance.
shit to create that was better. So that's,
Yep.
I
that's
give
my
almost,
focus.
Hell yes,
almost everything
Bob.
a chance.
That's been my entire mentality with it, honestly, because it's the kind of stuff that at the end of the day is going to be forgotten after a week's time, maybe a month, if we really want to give it every chance.
And why
But
waste time on it, right?
Exactly. There's especially when I find nothing.
Royce
I
is
just
back.
find nothing, and I just find nothing in a lot of these modern projects. I really do not. It's why, people kind of laugh at me when I'm sitting here watching mostly stuff from the 20th century. But I'm like, objectively, it's where everything I really want to do is being made. Everything in terms of drama, everything's in terms of full-on genre storytelling. Everything I really draw on is from the 20th century. So I look at a lot of these modern creations, and unless it's something insanely outstanding, like a Robert Eggers or something like that, there's no fucking point in wasting your time. There's no point in even looking its way.
No, I've gotten to the
Yeah.
point
Other
where
than
I've noped out on all the people that just watch this stuff because they think they need to for their channels and then just constantly want to talk
I
about
know
it.
you've been a little
incessantly.
miffed with neurotic about it too.
Mike S. Miller told me that I need to watch this stuff for my channel and that I have to do it.
It's all
So-
Mike's
Well,
fault.
because if you're gonna have an opinion about something, it should be an informed opinion. You do videos where you're like,
I
"Oh,
didn't
this
need to
show's
watch
terrible.
it.
I'm never
I
gonna
s-
watch it, and I don't know
I
anything about
still
it."
didn't
but-
need to watch it, and I
but
was
the-
correct.
The
It was
idea
terrible.
that you have to watch something in the day and age of the internet to get an informed opinion on it, when you can talk about what the writers, the directors, and all these people are
Oh
saying
yeah, you can
behind
talk
the
about all
scenes.
that peripheral
I mean,
stuff, but you can't
no, but
talk about
and
the
that's
actual
and,
show.
but that's what the larger conversation is around. I mean, eventually, if you watch any of the channels that are doing the hate watch stuff, and I still
Earl,
watch.
are you not
a
gonna
lot of
ever
it.
watch Winter Soldier again because Chris Evans is a
No.
Well played,
I
sir.
probably
Nice pullback.
I probably no, and here's the thing: the visual medium itself was very good. Which funny enough, as I find that movie ironic, the people who made it absolutely wanting that type of world to happen. But anyway, I digress. But the larger thing behind hate watching is when it comes to these companies and everybody's saying, oh, they're losing money. They're not. They're getting more and more money, and they're getting more and more from the wealthiest elites out there. And the fact of the matter is that there's only one thing that can beat it, and that is legitimately the numbers of the people. And if we can pull enough of those numbers away, that's when it stops. I mean, when you talk, again, if I watch something, I can say, yeah, no, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way that it was presented, or I did, or whatever, when you watch something. But when the news around the thing is not the thing itself, but the news starts coming out how they want to change the story. They want to do modern interpretations. How many times have we heard that when they try to force the political agenda? That's been the story. Even the people who are doing the hate watching stuff, it devolves into that. Oh, did you hear what the actor, it eventually devolves into, did you hear what the actor or director or whatever said about this? And that's why the show was as bad as it was, right? So I can listen to the people who watched the show and then they can talk about how, oh, it was bad. Oh, did you hear that this person who worked on the show said this? Then I can look up an article that they reference and go, oh, wow, they did say that. Or oftentimes, usually it's breaking news that day because people will cover this stuff. And very, very seldomly on the channel, I think I did a little bit with the Lord of the Rings stuff. I didn't watch the show, but my commentary wasn't on the Lord of the Rings or the Rings of Power or whatever the hell the name of that show is. And it wasn't on She-Hulk. It was about the marketing of She-Hulk with her getting, what was that? The one where you swipe left on the Tinder thing for She-Hulk. That was retarded. That was absolutely ridiculous that they used that as a marketing ploy.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, She-Hulk made it. The She-Hulk show and production made a Tinder, so that way you could go and interact with the character She-Hulk on Tinder. Now,
Shut up. Really?
Yes. And supposedly it was a marketing account. Supposedly they said it was just a marketing account, but
She never showed up for my date.
These are the type of people that are creating the shows. And that's the thing that's commented on all the time. Whether you watch the show or not, it gets back to the type of people creating the shows. And that if that's the story, why watch the show?
Right.
Why watch the show to talk about it? I don't need to. I can go to the articles and read the same thing that everybody else is. I don't need to subject myself to hours and hours and hours of something that's absolutely eviscerating. Like again, we talk about the bad stuff. Royce, you watched Korra. Yeah, you know what? My kids had a fun time. My kids had a fun time with The Legend of Korra. I could sit down and watch The Legend of Korra with my kids. Oh, Dad, look at the powers. It's really cool. They fight. They do karate fighting, stuff like that. My kids have a good time with it. There's no way in hell I'm sitting down and watching She-Hulk with my kids. There's no way that I'm sitting down. My kids would drastically lose interest in, the Rings of Power. They would. There's no point in sitting down. I'm trying to find those things, good, bad, or indifferent, or just at least not political, that I can sit down and watch with my kids or read with my kids. One of the best things that recently is I actually picked up George Alexopoulos' Gooseberry Pie. My daughter cannot be separated from that book because I sat down with her and I read it with her. Oh, and by the way, she begged my wife to make a gooseberry pie, and so the wife and the kids said to make a gooseberry pie the other day. And so, hi River. Hi River.
The Puppers has made an appearance.
The Puppers has made an appearance. But no, and like I said, it's one of those things that when you're talking about the larger cultural movement, there's no point in talking about the way. I mean, some shows can be shot well. The cinematography can be good, lighting can be good. I mean, I apparently the special effects in The Lord of the Rings were good. Nobody talked about that. They talked about the political agenda and they talked about the destruction of Tolkien.
I don't know. I did suffer through that 10-second fight scene with Galadriel and those people.
Well, yeah.
And went, this is bad. I don't want to watch it.
John, you're doing the click.
Does that go that loud on here?
Yeah.
It really does.
It's loud.
So the thing is, I'm not even using my laptop speakers. I got my AirPods.
Yeah.
So
It's loud as
from there. Sorry about that.
It sounded like one of those little dogs trying to run across time.
My bad.
Are you sure? Check your mic settings again.
My mic says AirPods. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're hitting your mic.
It does.
Yeah, it's coming from
there's a mic
coming from
picking
it
up
says
over
AirPods though on my thing.
It's lying
No,
to you.
It's lying.
Yeah, no, there's definitely that
That
was actually
lying
louder than when you
laptop.
snapped in your ears. I don't think it's coming through your AirPods.
No.
Oh, weird.
Whoa, sound just shifted.
Huh. What about now?
Yeah,
that
the
sound shifted. That's
I
definitely
I
AirPods.
think you're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, but
noise canceled.
But no,
But
and I agree with I think going back to this, I agree with James that it's time to stop doing a lot of the hate watching stuff and
Yeah.
trying to, you know, one, I mean, not me.
Find
I'll shout
better
you guys out. But if you
material.
guys are creating your own stuff, go create your own stuff. I will
Talk
shout you
about
guys
better
out.
material.
I will do my best
Right.
to do that. You know, I'm
No, my thing is I don't want to
Well-
give air to all these things that are just essentially destroying shit. I want to give air to
Well-
the people that create stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, that's the reason why I want to do the digest style program with my YouTube channel, Quality Candor. It's just because I've watched so much, I've read a lot, I've listened to a lot. I don't see any reason to, you know, hog it all to myself. If, you know, I know where the really, you know, impressive or innovative or just purely entertaining, you know, filmmaking is, or storytelling or music is, I want to let people know about that. And I really feel like that's the best way to dovetail into hawking my own work as well as the work of others, because I really do believe now's the time to start pushing away from presenting what we're doing is the antithesis of this, and what we're doing is the proactive form of this. Is genuine, being genuine, and because I had this conversation with a lot of people, I'm really kind of appalled by the lack of sincerity in just the world in general, and I really
Merry
want
Christmas, Dojo.
Merry Christmas, Dojo.
Thanks,
Are you
guys.
out, sir?
I'm going to bow out, but I wanted to jump in with you guys for a few minutes. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas and stay safe in this winter storm if you're experiencing it.
Yeah,
you too,
same.
man.
Yeah,
We are
Merry
having the
Christmas, sir.
worst winter storm in California, Dojo. It's like 50 degrees out. I've never been so
Oh,
cold in my
no.
life.
I know.
I'm
I
in
had
the
to
Everglades.
wear-
It's
He's about to
52.
perish.
I had to wear this long sleeve when I was outside barbecuing.
Right? Can you believe it, Mike?
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like
Horrendous.
minus 28 here.
Yep, I'm in the same
That's not
boat
even
as
a
you.
real number.
That's not even a real number. You're not wrong. You're not incorrect.
It's beyond this
Watch out
purported
for that
realm.
global warming, Dojo-kun.
Yeah, right. Take care, guys. Thanks again.
Right.
Indeed.
Have a good
Yeah,
night.
so-
That's our Merry Christmas.
So it's
I do want to comment that I understand, and you know, look, everybody who doesn't want to hate watch, I get that. I'm not a fan of hate watching. I personally usually give shows a chance. I gave Rings of Power like 2 episodes, and I'm like, all right. But I think guys that are taking that bullet for us are doing a greater service, because I remember talking to Quarter Black Garrett way back before he got into this whole community, and it was like finding someone that acknowledged the same thoughts he had on the internet was like, you know, my people. And it's like, so I get it. They kind of beat the same drum every week, and they kind of make the same points and all that kind of stuff, but they're having fun doing it, and they're constantly reaching new people who are on our side, and they're growing that fellowship, as they call it. But they're growing the community, and they're growing people who will ultimately want to support, you know, creators who are creating stuff that's not full of crap. You know, it's,
Yeah,
I think the thing is, though, is there needs to be
breeds
more balance.
that's the point that I really wanted to get to. Is it's okay to have gateways, but I think the problem is a lot of people see those gateways as models of how to, you know, work the algorithm, how to, you know, try and game things. And I've said this before. I think we just are going to reach a point where the training wheels just have to be kicked off, and you just have to rock the ship in the other direction. And it might take a while, and it might take a lot of people to make that happen. But it's good to have gateways of people saying, "Hey, this crap is wrong. This, God knows why it's still being made. It shouldn't, but it is, and we're here to explain why it's horrendous and everything under the sun." But there should be the balance of, this is the good stuff, whether it is, these are the classics you should be revisiting, or here's what the independents are up to. it should be more. There should be plenty of that to kind of create an actual foundation beneath,
Yeah,
maybe
what we
not beneath
created Iron Age.
Well, the
Knights.
thing is,
Exactly.
the thing is too, is these guys that like the guys that they dedicate a lot of time to all these things that we all know are bad before they even come out. I wish they would put more emphasis on. It doesn't even have to be like me or other creators in this space, but I wish they put more emphasis even on mainstream things that they do like. And some of them do, but it seems like it's becoming more. People are just leaning so heavily now into like the negative shit.
I don't know. They went crazy for freaking House of the Dragon.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I watched it though. So
Yeah,
it was like I would check in with Shad's videos on it. And
Good stuff like that come out though.
It was one of those things too where I
legitimately
waited
good,
till that
it's
show was
legitimately
over to see
good.
how it ended, to see how they felt by the end of it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. And then ultimately that led me to give Game of Thrones a shot again.
No, and the thing is, the thing is, I was thinking about this earlier today because I was watching Friday Night Tights, and I think that everybody has their different jumping off points with the modern day media and how they're portraying storytelling and characters and things like that. And with people having that different jumping off point, I think it's still important for the Friday Night Tights guys to do what they're doing, because somebody new is jumping off every day and going, what's going on? What changed? Why don't I like this thing that I used to like anymore? And they jump over it. They go see what the Friday Night Tights crew is doing, the Geeks and Gamers guys are doing. They see those guys explain it out and go, oh, wow, this is why I don't like that thing. And these guys are totally right. They may or may not go revisit the backlog, but those people get introduced with, okay, there are more like-minded people like me who don't like this thing. And those are people that are coming in. Now, I think that all of us, well, I won't speak for all of us. I'll speak for myself specifically. I jumped out years ago and found all of those creators years ago when I jumped off, with Star Wars. And when that happened, I followed them, followed all of the movies they were covering, watched them for years. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. I don't need to consume the content anymore. Talking about how bad things are, I am starting to look for the new stuff, and eventually that just kind of led me to where I am today. And so now I'm not necessarily in a place anymore in fandom where I want to listen to the tearing down of the old media. But somebody today is watching something going, what the hell happened to this thing that I loved? And now they're going to possibly be introduced to, maybe not Friday Night Tights, but somebody talking about their thing that they loved, going, this is crap, it sucks, it's just like The Last Jedi. And people go, wait a minute, what happened with I don't recall it being that bad, because maybe they were a Star Wars normie, but they weren't a normie for this other thing that they really like, right? So I think, and then essentially kind of our sphere, kind of getting to know those guys and trying to be like, and so when those guys go, hey, although this stuff sucks, you should really go over here, because these are the guys pointing out the good stories. And I think that's where the balance needs to come in, is these guys need to keep harping on the bad stuff. We've got to build it up. We just have to figure out how to build that bridge to be like, hey guys, don't forget, new people are building good things over here.
That's right. That's if you put this up on the screen, this proves your point and mine. They
Don't put me in the same boat as you, Mike.
Let's go.
All right, you're an SJW. How about that?
No, what the fuck?
I mean, look at that. Oh, just over the course of the last year, Nerdrotic's gone up over 250,000 subs just in the last year.
Wow.
And Star Wars is long gone. Nobody gives a damn about Star Wars anymore. This is just because they constantly produce stuff that is driving people away from mainstream entertainment. And so you've got Nerdrotic and Jeremy and Quartering and all those guys out there with a big freaking net waiting to catch those guys, and then hopefully, I mean, it really does end up creating a market for those of us who are creating the market for the alternative, or building up the market, gathering that market together, and then really the key is to funnel those distraught fanboys and girls who want something else to be entertained by towards
the much cooler stuff the Iron Age produces.
And I think I know the way I wanted to phrase this. It's good to have gateways. We just need to show people what's behind those gates. That's the key.
That's a good way to phrase it. I like that.
It really is. It is the way I see it, because the idea is that you're getting people out of the cold of the cold, uncaring indifference of the modern media landscape, and in saying, hey, here's something that's a little more nourishing. Here's something that's a little more engaging, entertaining, maybe even a little more thoughtful than your average, piece of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it is
sure.
I think that, well, the other side of that though too, and we can't forget, is how do we make sure that we I guess are on the other side of that gateway? How do we let people know that we're over there? Because it says if those channels are out there and they are the gateways of what of catching people, if they are that net that are catching people, well, and they're emptying the net, like, how do we let people know, hey, we're the ones over here doing, well, you guys are the ones over here making the stories. I'm trying to do the things that I'm talking about. I'm trying to say, hey guys, come over here, check it out, look at these stories. Hi, hello, the stories, people like this. How do we make sure that people know that behind the gates are these stories that we're telling?
I mean, you have to keep pushing your shit out there.
Yeah.
And
Mike
how
and
I've
John
found
both
success
mentioned
over
this
this
earlier.
past year is just consistency. Like, I mean, I make a marketing post for my books every day, dude. Not
my
necessarily on the
favorite
weekends, except for right now because I'm doing this Christmas thing, like 25 days of Christmas promo thing. But
Love that, by
every
the
single
way.
day, man, like every single day, put something out there, promote your stuff. People will start to pick up on it. Every day you do it, you're not going to get a sale.
Right.
But then you're going to check your royalties one day and you're like, holy shit, man, I sold like 7 books. How the hell did that happen? And then I had a day a week ago where I sold like 18 and I was like flabbergasted by that. And I don't even necessarily know what triggered it, but I do know that, like, if you're consistent and you just stay on top of your shit and you just work hard, man, that's the key thing there. Work hard and hustle. Like, things start to click, people start to find it, and then other people start promoting you, and
show up.
that's just how it works, man. And that's why I use, like, Wednesdays. We've talked about it before. That's why I do those big ass promo tweets that usually take off pretty well really early in the day, and ropes a lot of people into it, and it gets people's eyes on other stuff. So
and I mean, that's the reason why I'm taking this year to just devote all of my energy to these many projects. I'm taking a bit of a gamble here. I don't want to sit there and be like, okay, let's try and do this with the part-time job, or hey, let's try and do this while I'm in grad school. No, I want to sit down and work on this stuff relentlessly, because I've never had the time to do promo like that. I've never had the time to really get in the weeds of creating stuff and in the weeds of doing appearances like this. That's why I want to take a full year just to grind out that, because in my estimation, maybe it just takes someone just being absolutely insane enough, maybe, just to say, I'm just going to throw all of my weight on this. And if it moves, it moves. If it doesn't, oh, gee, at the end of the year, I'll go flip burgers or something. I don't know.
You're young. You'll recover.
Well, I mean, the road to success is paved in failure. I mean, people fail time and time and time again, and it's
of course.
Which
I've failed time and time again.
I mean, the road to success is paved in persistence. Is essentially that's what it means. Just persistence.
To that point, John Douglas says, but there's no synergy between the big voices on YouTube who rail against mainstream and the indie creators who need big platforms. JDA has done it right by making his own platform for his books, which I do applaud JDA. John over here, he is doing that.
That's me.
But it's really not far removed from the way independents and talents in comics has always, particularly in comics, but I'm sure it works in writing, in books, novels and whatnot as well. When you're young and you're new, or you're just new, or you don't have a publisher, or you don't work for Marvel or DC or Random House or whatever, you just put in the work. Like you guys were saying earlier, you put in the work, you hone your craft. At some point or another, opportunity meets preparedness, right? And we call that luck. Oh, he got lucky. No, he wrote 24 freaking novels that didn't sell anything, and then he got a freaking bestseller.
Exactly.
Right? That's your overnight success. He got lucky. No, he did the work. He got good at his craft, and then the opportunity arose. So no, not everybody is going to get a shout out on Nerdrotic or on wherever, right? I mean, what Royce is doing and these guys in Iron Age Media, building this up, that is, it's really kind of a new thing, but I'm sure there's some old school analog like Starlog magazine or some other stuff where indies could be featured and highlighted and whatnot. But don't anybody expect the luck to just fall on them. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, dude, and like, not to toot my own horn here, but I work a job where I'm at work 50, 60 hours a week, like minimum, and I'm still doing this shit. So, and I sleep good at night. It's not like I'm not sleeping. I sleep pretty well. I get a good, like, solid 7 hours usually. But
wow, 7. That's
sometimes weed assisted, but you know,
7 hours. That's I anything over 6 for me, and I feel groggy all day. It's bad. That's
so Royce.
Oh no, Robin, do you have anything to add? You were nodding along.
Well, some of what y'all are talking about with persistence and stuff reminds me of Think and Grow Rich, if y'all have read that book. But
I have.
Yeah, I'm just agreeing with what y'all are saying.
Yeah,
you gotta be disagreeable. That's how
there's a lot of large egos here, Robin.
And
please,
that's how you get engaged.
Robin, please don't inflate the already large egos on the stream.
It takes a little bit of ego to put yourself out there, but
it does. It really
Royce
does.
likes to make fun of me every time we do this on Friday. He puts the link out. I'm first one to arrive backstage, and he always accepts my request to come onto the show before it even starts, and the first thing out of his mouth is, Mr. Daniel P. Riley, punctual as always.
That's not an insult.
No, but that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Any sort of creator in the indie sphere, anything that you do, I talk to crafters who make ashtrays and t-shirts. I talk to artists who create pictures and paintings and digital artwork. I talk to authors constantly because it's my coaching service. And, comic book guys, the ones that actually make it are the ones that don't give up. They keep showing up every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
the ones that don't are the ones that fall away and go, well, it's not working, so I'm going to do something else.
And especially in my case,
James, were you? Hold on one second. James, were you trying to say something there too, or no?
I mean, I was going to take us down a tangent. You want me to take us down a tangent?
Okay. Jake, you first, then James's tangent. Because I love tangents. I need to tangent, dude. My soul is screaming right now.
And you got to wrap it up in 5 minutes, because in 5 minutes I have to bug Royce to pay attention to the chat.
I do.
Delightful.
Oh crap!
I need to wrap up in a couple minutes too, because I got to wrap Christmas presents. So,
yeah, we try to close in like 3 hours. So at 2:45 point, I'm like, Royce, chat.
Make a quick point, and then I am going to let everybody talk about themselves for a moment very quickly.
All right.
And then at the end of that 5 minutes, I will go. And we will, I'll read the rest of the super chats, rest of the locals chats, and then we'll just have some fun with the chat until the end. So, Jake, quick point, go.
My main point though is this: that I can't see myself doing anything other than what I'm doing. I can't see myself not writing music, writing stories, making films. I just can't. So it's like I'm here to stay, whether you like it or not, whether you read my weird ass wolves and leather jackets bombing around in fucking Camaros and shit. I don't care if you're reading that or not. It's gonna keep happening until it like goes elsewhere or really finally like takes off. And I have confidence it will at some point. I'm not saying it's gonna happen this year. It might not happen next year. It might not happen until 5 years down the road, or maybe 10.
Is your wait, quick question? Because I've read a little bit of what you've sent me. I've not read enough. Is it kid friendly, PG-13? You bastard! I would me here. All right. You guys want to know?
That's a no.
Everything was kid friendly in the 80s.
All right. Before I start signing everybody off,
you guys need to clean up your work.
Before I start signing everybody off,
most of my stuff.
You want to know why the opposite
safe.
side of the aisle has succeeded for so damn long? Is because they go after the kids and they get the kids to believe this crap from the school systems.
Oh, they go after the kids, all right.
And no, we're not going into that. I'm not going that far. Okay. If you want to make sure that this becomes a thing in the next 15 to 20 years, give me something that I can put in my kids' hands. It does not have to be a kid's story. It can even have, adult themes in it. And by adult themes, more, I guess, mature themes in it, but not, I guess, adult scenes. There's a very big difference there. Okay, give me something I can put in my kids' hands.
I'll give you this concession though, because there is something that I've been meaning to slowly working on. I know. Let me just make this point real quick.
Right, fast.
The audio
15
series that I'm working on, Alan Firedale. I am trying to draw back and bring towards being a little more overall family friendly. Like I was literally cutting out like swears and stuff in the final edit of the full episode because I want it to feel more like that Jerry Anderson style of show. That
if
old
you can get it
style
there,
radio show.
If you can get it there, send it to me. And I'll get it in front of my kids to see what they think about it. Because here's the thing: your artwork, the wolf stuff with the Camaros. I'm telling you right now, just the artwork alone would drive my kids up the wall. They would love it. But I can't put it in front of them.
I'm also working on other concepts that kind of take that and take it in a different direction. So stay tuned.
Right.
James' turn.
James.
Sure. So this is a drunken tangent I almost took us on. It is easier to complain about something than it is to gush about something. That's why I like your channel, Royce, because you like things. You are a rare breed that likes things.
What a novel concept!
I've not heard that one before. Thank you. That is a new one. Thank you.
Of the 60 novels I've read this year, I would say 2 are unambiguously good novels. And that's Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy and Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. And they don't need me advertising them. Everything else is kind of like, well, if you're looking for it, you'll like it. And that's the problem with getting a bunch of people to bias the algorithm to like an indie author's work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even if you're good, you're like, all right, yeah, that's all right. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked spending my money. I got my money's worth. And it's hard to snowball with that kind of attitude. That's kind of the problem that we're facing.
Valid point.
Yeah. Mr. JDA.
San Dimas football rules.
I'm assuming that's
pedal
a sports
wild
thing.
Stallions now.
Is that
what's going on here?
That's from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife loves that movie. I've seen it once, and I think I fell asleep. All right, Mr. Mike S. Miller.
Gee, I had a thought, and then John said that thing, and then the thought ran away from my head.
That's exactly what I do to everybody.
Gosh, no, it was about
He's just doing it. Screw with me now.
Yeah. No. You know, come back.
If he was trying to screw with you,
all right, Mr. Rob Rhymes, good sir. What is your sign up for the night before we go to chat?
Show that thing I sent you.
I did. Wait, what thing? I did the thing. Oh wait.
The thing I tried to show on my phone that didn't work. I sent you the
oh, you sent in a link. Oh, damn it.
That thing I sent you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I remember what it was.
It's a tweet. It's in private chat.
Yeah, no. I shared it in the chat, so now I have
I
to
see.
go and do the thing. Damn it.
What was it, Mike? While Royce is boomering.
I'm not boomering. Fuck off.
It was like not that it's about if you want to make a difference.
That's the
in
next
culture.
book coming out. So
Let him go.
So Mike.
Swords Against Bastards.
There's a title.
Another great title. I mean, he's done Dan the Destructor. He's done Atomic Beast and Where to Kill Them. He's in Eyes in All Shadows. Now it's Swords Against Bastards. The title game is strong with this man.
I like the simplicity of your artwork. We're not going to tangent there. And guys, just so you know, I won't hard cut off at 3 hours. I won't.
I will.
You're fine. You can. But I do like at 3 hours. That is the soft cap for those who do not want to stay.
That's when
And
I fully expect
is it
the credits to roll so I can babble.
and is it Miss or Mrs. Robin? I was not properly introduced.
Miss.
It is Miss Robin. Okay. Miss Robin, do you have anything that you would like to say? Is there any website or YouTube channel or anything you would like to share with us again so people can find you and let us know what you actually like to talk about on in your spaces?
Yeah, it's very different than y'all's spaces. my life mission statement is to support God in his dream of his kids deeply connecting with himself and each other. So my YouTube channel is basically testimonies about experiences that people have had with God, that I've had with God, Bible stuff, just my thoughts and reflections. So it's very different from what y'all are talking about.
Oh, maybe tonight, but not from what we have talked about on this show.
Yeah, there's a bit of blending involved. I think.
Yeah.
I think if we had to create a diagram, it would be Robin would be all the way over here. Most of us are somewhere in the middle, and then like Royce is all the way over here.
Why
himself.
am I over there? Why am
just
I the
messing with you.
furthest away?
I'm just.
No, Mike
messing with
used to run a pretty standard show called Cross Examinations all the time, where he like did deep dives into the Bible for like an hour or two. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
I haven't done that
think
for a while.
I
But
will
I remember.
say that-
All right, so my just a real quick point.
Mike's point.
No, it's because people are bringing up EBS and RIPA and all this stuff, and it's like, what I think it's more important to go back and, like I said, do the work and do the craft, learn the craft, and create good stuff than it is to have like some book that sells $1 million worth or $3 million, whatever it is, because the stuff that's gonna be adaptable to quality stuff that is going to ultimately change the culture isn't the stuff that is bought by people who, let's be realistic, a lot of those people aren't even going to bother reading the books, right?
Agreed.
Somebody's buying a book just because they want to be part of the culture where, I mean, God bless them, I love them and whatever, but it's like the people reading, when you have more people reading the books, even if it's on Webtoons and it's freaking free, you change the culture by reaching the people with your actual content, with your actual messages, your worldview, and the quality of your creation. So it's, to me, it's more important to do something good, do something right, and do something well than it is to sell 1 million copies of it.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
No, absolutely agreed.
I guess I am on the same page as y'all in terms of wanting to help our culture. I mean, personally, I think if we all actually knew who God was, our culture would be completely different.
Absolutely true.
100%.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, with that,
I try to explain that to Royce, but he just doesn't listen.
Mike.
Yes, Royce.
Mm.
250, Royce. It's chat time.
Here it is.
I'm gonna
Like, why do you
deflect
hate
that bullet.
Oh. All right, and we are going over to the locals chat. And that's how you turn on the announcer voice. Anyway, and over in the locals chat, Kikomon for $5. Kikomon is Kikomon is awesome. He sent in a lot of $5.
How drunk are you right now, Kikomon?
I don't know if he's here. He's that drunk. Kikomon's so drunk, he's not here anymore. He also has an
Drunk on soy.
adorable new puppy. Adorable new puppy. Like, if you guys want to go bug Kikomon and see what his new puppy looks like, go to my Gilded server. Oh, that dog is way too cute for its own good.
For sure.
Have you seen the puppy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude.
I pay
I
attention
had
to
the
the
I had the
Gilded.
puppy on my show
I
yesterday,
don't-
Royce.
I don't tend to interact because I'm too busy with other stuff.
No, you're good.
But I at least look at the messages.
It is my Gilded. I feel like if I don't interact, I'm a dick. Anyway,
yeah.
so
It's not mine though, so I can ignore them and just be pompous.
oh, one day too soon. I overdid it one day too soon. I should have waited another day from being sick. Kikomon for $5 over on the locals
Again.
side says 40% liquor is a minimum. Beer and wine drinkers. Bah. Oh, God.
For
All
sure,
right.
brother.
Kikomon for another $5 says Mark S. Millerstein. That was from a while ago.
Old reference.
All right. Frequency Studios. He said, read this later, and I have to read it this way. Frequency Studios for $4.20. Thank you so much, Frequency Studios. That is a joke that Mr. Mike S. Miller started here, and at one point
It's all
was using
Mike's
his
fault.
water cup to make bong noises. That was yes, you.
me?
Yeah.
Looks.
I have it on
looks up
stream.
at the
I have it on
straw and
stream.
just-
Yeah. All right. Kikomon for $2.
Again.
Says, yes.
I want to point out that's a water pipe with tobacco.
Yep. Okay. Says, JDA got me hammered, but showcased my puppy. Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Fearless Leader for $10. He says, and I did not showcase that one at all. I should do that. I meant to do that earlier, but the conversation was moving rapidly and I totally missed it. Once I graduate this year, I'm wanting to do with the video game industry what Riba did with comics. I feel like there are more indie comics by Comicsgate than games by Gamergate. Not a bad point.
For sure.
Not a bad point.
Yeah. Kudos for the statesman-esque picture, by the way.
Right. All right. Kikomon for $2 says, woo! JDA. All right. Kikomon. Yeah. He keeps showing up.
Yeah,
I like
JDA,
Kikomon
you're-
is definitely drunk at this point.
Oh, dude, he's no. It devolves. And here's the Booty Daddy comment. I hate that. And then this one I didn't read. $10. Give me a good anime or else you are all boring. A good anime, Attack on Titan.
Outlaw Star.
Yes. That's
Ooh,
a
I don't
good
know
one.
Outlaw Star. I don't know Outlaw
Sailor
Star.
Moon.
Outlaw Star's fantastic.
Sailor Moon,
Great
yeah.
Record
Yeah,
of
Joe, a real American hero.
What's up?
If Rob's like, I don't know anime. Fuck y'all.
I do know anime.
Oh,
Just
God.
nothing in the last like 15, 20 years, probably.
My oldest is getting older and wanting to check out, more and more anime, and so I'm like, all right, well, if you're wanting to check out anime, I'll totally let you do it. But I'm gonna start watching a lot of anime, and I'm gonna vet the stuff that I go, this is garbage.
Yeah, you
this
really
is what-"
should watch it before they do.
And that's my goal, and that's why I do watch a lot of it. And yeah, so
Like I had to make a really strong judgment call when my daughter was like 13 because she really wanted to watch this anime series called The Mysterious Play, otherwise known as Fushigi.
I love that. I've watched that 3 times.
I watched it all first before I let her because she was at that
starting puberty phase. And I was like, I want to make sure this doesn't have anything too weird in it. And it does have a couple of mildly rapey like connotations at one point.
It's also got a tranny. But
yeah. But
yeah.
So I had to make a judgment call, and I was like,
And you won't watch House of the Dragon because of a little incest?
What the hell?
It's the trannies in Japanese culture are much more wholesome, Mike. Than the
Thank
trannies
you so
in
much,
American
Aaron.
culture.
Aaron, are you in the Gilded? There are actually, here's the cool part too. Aaron, I don't know if you are in the Gilded at all, but I do appreciate the offer. There are a lot of people helping me out with some animes and stuff like that who are having really good conversations over there. And sometimes people will recommend something, and
this is Nerdlandia, Aaron. We all have opinions on anime.
I will say this. I will say
Except
this.
for
Up
Rob.
until very recently, there were only about 4 or 5 from when I was a kid that I was like, okay, like I can't say all anime is bad because there are at least like these 4 or 5 that I still liked from when I was a kid. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z was one of them, but
Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star.
Nope,
You can't go wrong with those.
I didn't watch any of those. I was shown too many that I just didn't like from friends of mine. Oh, you'll like this one. Oh, and so I just bowed out. I came across 4 or 5 when I was a kid. The one that I will say this, the one that made me rethink that anime, it just reconceptualized anime in my brain was Attack on Titan. I was watching one of the nerd guys. I think it was Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. It was Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers who he got to a point he was like, man, I'm just tired of all this garbage stuff out there. And people keep telling me to check out anime. And he's like, I don't like anime. I don't like it. He's like, yeah, there's a couple that I saw when he was really I really felt that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was in the same boat that I was. I can't say that all anime is bad because obviously, but when he watched it, when he was like, dude, this show is absolutely incredible. Because I'd always heard him say the same exact line that I used to say to people about anime. And when he said Attack on Titan was a thing, I was like, all right, I'm going to go check it out. And dude, it changed my mind about anime almost entirely. Attack on Titan did. So I do have to say thanks to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers for that. If I
Did you watch the sub or the dub?
I've watched the dub always. I don't like the sub.
Oh my gosh. Who's it?
You know
Aaron? Aaron
what
with
the
that
great
annoying
thing-
freaking voice.
You know what the awesome part is about watching in the modern day is you can literally go online and say, hey, what's the difference between the sub and the dub? And then people will tell you the differences. It's great. Yeah, the naming differences, the subtle story differences.
Only true fans watch the subtitled version, Royce.
That's awesome. You can go be a true weeb somewhere the hell else. I'm not a
Yeah,
weeb.
I mean, personally, I like the dub just because I like to focus on what's happening on the screen and not be reading while I'm trying to watch the animation. So,
see, that's never bothered me.
I was raised on Wuxia film, so I'm used to subtitles.
No. So that doesn't bother me.
Right.
I don't mind watching movies in other languages and having to read the subtitles. That doesn't bother me. I absolutely cannot stand Japanese voice acting for anime. I can't stand it. I can barely stand voice acting for American anime and animation. It's American voice acting and animation is almost too over the top for me. The Japanese is so over the top. It hurts for me to listen to. And so I just won't. It is that
That's
bad.
just racist, Roy. You're racist.
I swear to all that's holy, if you start that shit on my channel, Mike. I'm watching the chat very closely. Chat.
I'm sorry, the way he just looked up and I saw the mute go off.
Okay.
Like shing, you know.
Mike, you're forgiven. The chat didn't do it.
The chat agrees with me, I'm pretty sure.
No. That's fine. That's
Can
fine.
I get a Roycist in the
Damn
chat?
Roycist. I love it.
No, damn it. JDA's here. No.
Yes.
Royce, I think
I'm
I
going to
mentioned
start. I'm going.
something
I'm going to
earlier.
repeat Roycist in front of 200 people next time we stream. It's going to be amazing.
I hate you all. I hate you all. Fearless Leader for $2. He says, I like My Hero Academia. I love the power system. I like My Hero Academia because I actually like the main character, the heroism in it. I actually think it's just a decent show. It's a never give up, always persist, always do the right thing show. Trippy, you're gonna lose your moderator status for that.
Royce, please don't attack the chat.
Yeah, don't attack the chat, Royce.
No, he's a mod. There's a difference. I said, hey, you want to be a mod? He says, yeah, I'll be a mod. I was like, all right, cool. That makes him my whipping boy. Anyway. Oh, mother. You, Rob, you son of a bitch. Talking Pulp Press, also known as Rob Rhymes. For $10.
Well played, sir. Well played.
You made me do it.
You didn't say it.
Say
You got to read it, man.
You got to read it.
Say it.
Roycist.
Attaboy.
All right.
Like you're a racist in Australia.
You're a Roycist.
I can't even fucking say it.
That's a whole new level of racism. I'm sorry.
What the oh no.
You're like an
You got
Australian
Tim Allen to
racist.
super chat, dude. What the fuck?
Here we go.
Darkish Multiverse for $5. This sounds like the first 30 minutes of my D&D games every week. Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas, Darkish.
Merry Christmas.
man. Tim Allen for $2. Roycist is the moistest.
Oh,
I hate you so
Tim
much,
Allen
Mike.
just had to go.
You and JDA being on the same stream together is cancer for my soul.
I'm here to serve.
The 3-hour
Yeah.
mark is up. You can shut it down whenever you want, Royce.
That's true.
You can make the torture end.
I was actually
I-
getting to that point, and then about
I
4
could just. I
super
could just.
chats came in.
I could just do this, Royce, and pull.
Oh God.
Then out of
Well
nowhere, Wasp's
done.
torture never stops starts playing.
All right. I do think that is probably the end of the stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that
Good
you
place to call
enjoyed watching what did I call this? A Very Merry Iron Age Nights. Which,
Correct.
I don't know. I liked that one. I thought that was a good title. I'm bad at marketing, John Delarose.
I spent the first half of the stream wrapping presents and making noise in the background. We did not do any caroling. I did get drunk and finish my bottle of Glenlivet. So, all in all,
But it was an
an
18 years, so it was a good bottle. Although the look on your face when you were drunk when my shelf fell was even better. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been over to the Gilded server, click that link down in the chat. Go over, become a part of the Gilded. We have so many fantastic conversations happening over there. Writers, artists, creators, people talking about anime, people talking about movies, people talking about books. We've got a beer recommendation channel. So if you guys like to share what I'm probably going to turn that into like a beer and spirits,
It's a good
recommendation channel. We've got basically everybody here on stream except for Miss Robin over here. Miss Robin, I would actually say this. My Gilded server is not a place that I would be afraid for you to go to. We do get a little heavy into the politics, though, and I'm not sure if you're into the political conversation, but we do get a little heavy into that. But no, my Gilded server has had some absolutely... Well, they do also get into the memery, so... I will say this:
He's
there's a lot of
making
wholesome...
excuses for them, so you should run.
No, there's a lot of there's a lot of danger over there, but there's a lot of wholesome over there. My Gilded is very, very ADD.
Schizophrenic is what I would call it.
Well, you may not be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so
Whatever
much.
it is, it needs Ritalin.
But I hang out there.
It probably does, to be perfectly honest with you guys.
The
It's just how it goes.
outro time.
I know. Outro time is great.
Exactly.
Have yourself a merry
little Christmas.
Oh,
Excellent
God.
song.
Merry
Wow.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas,
Christmas.
everybody. Oh,
A
man.
wonderful weekend.
Melekilikimba.
Are you sleeping? What are you doing?
I am drunk, bro.
I hope everyone realizes.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
usually cut myself off at 3 drinks, but it took 4 to finish this bottle. So,
Wow.
yeah, man.
Remember,
Next
I've got this, and I
Thank
actually
you so
have
much, Tim Allen.
bottles in here.
Redemption Rye.
Later, haters.
Right. Ooh. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Wonderful to meet you, Rob.
None of that fake Kwanzaa
Yeah,
crap.
nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's wonderful
Nice
having you.
meeting
I'm
you.
so sorry that JDA brought you into this. It was a little bit of chaos this evening. Good conversations, though.
I'm not
A lovely
A whole new world. A whole new world.
You know what? And I think the worlds collide somewhere. I really do. I really,
Yes.
really do.
I got my presents all wrapped.
Woo! Nice. So, no, I honestly, the conversations tonight were probably some of the best on stream. Seriously.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, good night. This has been Iron Age Nights and a Drink with Crazy production. Trademark.
Merry
No,
Christmas,
it's not trademarked.
everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
Racist.